Hey, oh, another man will. Oh, yeah. What you want to. Oh, another man will. Oh, yeah. What you want to. Oh, another man will. Yeah. So that's nobody's song. That's mine. All right, I'm gonna be doing a collective because some people possibly could have been doing some type of manipulation magic, right? Whether it's love spells, etc. And this could be in the form of speaking, right? Trying to shift your reality, your beliefs, etc. Trying to make you believe what they are saying, whether they are verbally saying something or energetically, physically trying to come off a certain way. Family, friends, lovers. We already know this is the reality of life, and people need these type of messages. So that's what we're going to be doing. Slow Dancing in the Dark by Joji is very significant. Now, a lot of you guys, you're possibly very creative. So maybe you could go very far for, drawing, painting, making music, etc., right? In the form of expressing how you feel. Okay? You can either share this with the world or you can just keep it to yourself and maybe save it for the generations after generations after generations that you personally create or that your other loved ones create, right? I feel like I'm speaking to a collective of chosen ones, 144 energy, spiritualists. You don't have to be spiritual. You could just be a free spirit, okay? A lot of times, human beings create their own definitions of things, all right? We imagine things and we think very logical. We have to put a label on something. We have to make things make sense, right? So I feel like I'm talking to a collective that's not tied to the matrix, that's breaking out of the matrix. This collective is needing to ground their energy. You have a lot of passion. You have a lot of energy. You don't even have to be a fire sign, but Aries, Leo, and Sag could be significant, and you could have these placements somewhere in your chart. So I just want to get some messages here for the collective. I feel like you're going down a path where you don't really know what to expect. Some of you guys possibly get confused on if you're doing the right thing or whatever the case may be, but I feel like you are. All right? I feel like you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone, and I feel like you should not deal with people who are unavailable for you. It's bittersweet that you're cutting off people whom you love and whom you've known your whole life, but you got to know that you're not a traditionalist to the matrix mindsets and lifestyles. You create your own traditions, and it will never be anything that's limiting and that doesn't make sense when it comes to justice, when it comes to unconditional love. And I feel like you deserve to connect with people who actually can love you. It's up to you if you want to bring people on your journey. But a lot of times we're being forced to make certain hard decisions. Some of you guys are not being social to people. This is a way of holding up your boundaries. I feel like you're doing this so that you don't feel violated, right? You should get out and mingle with new people. There's a lot of people who can resonate with you than you may think, that you may know. What's an energy within the man? Let's get a message here for the collective. All right. You could be in this lone wolf energy. I feel like you're no longer fearing losing anything because you've been through your toughest battles, and there's nothing that can ever bring you back to the worst time of your life because you've already experienced it. But a lot of you guys are afraid of losing someone or being abandoned. I feel like this is the energy of being encouraged to take a chance. Some of you guys are being encouraged to travel to a new country, especially solo dolo, because I feel like you'll be able to turn a weakness into a strength. Today is November 12th. It's currently 11:04 a.m. 411 could be very significant, which I think ties to information, news, and everything like that. All right, now let's play some music. Any more messages here for the collective? A lot of you guys could be feeling some type of anxiety. You are afraid to get close to someone. They are scared too. Give them a chance. I love that. So the same individuals have the same fears as you. I feel like y'all are all on your individual path, learning how to navigate these tense situations. But I feel like you're connecting with people or coming across people who feel the exact same way as you do. They're a little bit anxious. They're a little bit afraid that, people are not who they say they are, etc. So, give them a chance. Bear with them. And I feel like you will, because you can empathize with people and you experience the same things. This song is by KWN, War to Be Over. A lot of you guys are waiting for this war that you're going through, this internal war, to be over. I'm seeing indecision. You could be experiencing some type of indecisiveness. You are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. Hi, Tay. Welcome in. Some of you guys are very burnt out. But know that being in this indecisive energy, being in the energy to where you're afraid to make a mistake, therefore you won't commit either way, this is holding you back. This is going to create some type of stagnancy. Later on, you're going to regret being in this energy. Or maybe you will realize that, wow, I had nothing to worry about. Wow, I was just worried about how everybody's seeing me, falling and failing, when in reality, you don't fail at all. You just bump your head and learn. L's are not losses. They're just lessons. A lot of you guys are burnt out, though. You feel emotionally burnt out right now. Retreat and recover before continuing, especially when it comes to meeting new people, creating and living in this life that you want to be in. Okay, you got to tend to your mental, emotional, physical, etc. health, especially mentally and emotionally. Okay, because then that's going to help you be able to get the physical things out the way. Whether it's detoxing, exercising, healing from whatever is going on with your physical body. I'm glad I pulled these. If you guys want to get this deck for yourself, it's called What's Blocking You. All right. This is usually for singles and relationships. It's an oracle deck. You deserve somebody better than the individuals who you've been connecting with. Okay? It's okay. It's bittersweet, because I feel like you're a person that really loves, for real. But you have to give yourself this life. If you believe in many, many lives, maybe in the next life you can try to keep these people a part of your life. But in this one, please, finally go a different route. You've already went the route where you're self-sacrificing. Okay? But you don't have to take my word for it. You can, by any means, always change your mind and do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, off of personal experience, continuous bumping heads and learning lessons, I feel like this will be really good for you. To substitute people who emotionally, etc., drain you, who causes you trauma, etc. It's only right. I know that the world itself talks about family first or God first, family second, and all this stuff, but you're not the traditionalist to the Matrix mindset and lifestyles. You're the 1% of the collective that thinks with more than 30% of their brain. Allow yourself to. Some of you guys, this requires change. You could be hiding your feelings, all right? You need to express how you feel to the one you love to see how they feel in return. I'm not saying go around love bombing people. I'm not saying put yourself in a situation where you'll get your feelings hurt. But I mean, hey, at least you'll be able to know what happens next. At least you'll be able to be truthful and honest, and then you'll see, right? Because a lot of times when you express yourself, when you do anything, at least it leaves you room to see how other people feel and what they may say. I feel like the things that you go through helps you be able to maneuver in a way that will be very beneficial. Because see, you guys, you like to hold on to things, you like to cling to things, you like to love people until you can't love them anymore. And I don't ever see you guys loving people until you can't love them anymore. So you have to force yourself to stop loving people. Or I don't want to say stop loving people, you know, because it's basically you're just loving yourself more. That doesn't mean that you love anybody any less. You're just loving yourself more. But I feel like there's people who you guys are going to come into connection with, or who you may already be in connection with. People who are more healthy for you, who can relate to you. You know, the toxic family, the love, the heartbreaks within romantic connections. They get you, and you can get them. You don't have to be overbearing. You don't have to be too desperate, right? Because that means that you're still needing to pertain to your own weaknesses that you need to turn into strengths, right? It's a journey. We live and we learn. But handle people with respect. Handle people how you would want to be handled. Understand people. Empathize with people. And don't be so desperate to stay connected to people who actually drain you, hinder you. This song is called Butter Love by Nex. I feel like you're being encouraged to trust yourself. You're being encouraged to trust yourself. It may be scary, right? But stagnancy is scarier. The same old shit is scarier. You've been there and done that. You already know what to expect. That's why you're walking away. Synchronicities. 11:11 on the freaking clock. Thank you. Gratitude. Gratitude. It says you leave too quickly when things get challenging. Stay and try to work it out. And I'm not talking about towards connections that are bad for your health. Okay? This is confirmation, like, duh, collective. Trust yourself. Don't fall victim to self-delusion. Don't fall victim to the love spells. Don't fall victim to the impersonations of people trying to, you know, with the false mask, trying to make it seem like they actually care about you. You don't deserve that. Half of you can't even handle that. Love people from a distance. Love people from afar. And a lot of you guys, you're going to need to cut people off. Family, friends, and lovers. Some of y'all, these people are ex-lovers. But I promise you, this is going to be liberating to you, your journey, your soul. A lot of you guys haven't really put yourself first through a lot of situations. You always cared about the other person and gave people a lot of grace. But nobody has ever given you these energies when you really deserve it, because you're a very understanding person. You're a deep emotional individual, emotional idealist. Thank you, Mrs. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Genuinely. You're giving too much. Give this energy to yourself. Aren't you tired of giving to everyone else? Like, too much at that. You've never given that much to yourself than you've given to everybody else. Isn't that odd? Does that not sound odd to you? You are depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. It's about time for you to come into these connections. By all means, give this a chance first. Finally connect with people who are on your level. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc. Please, I beg of you. Okay? Please. This is possibly how your higher self is feeling. Because you're in the driver's seat. Only you can choose to cut people off and do this and go that way. So please, please, collective, to protect that heart of yours, to protect this destiny that you're meant to experience and come into this beautiful life, please. This is justice for you. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. This is a gospel song coming on. You don't have to be religious. I'm not religious. I put on Spotify my liked songs, and I've possibly been having this Spotify for some years now. Recently, I just started adding songs to it this year. So there's a lot of old songs on here, possibly back since 2018 and before, okay? I grew up religious, so of course there may be a religious, but these are channel songs. That's the thing. Forget all the labels, okay? Forget all the labels. Take only what resonates for you. Majesty, hi. What do you mean, my favorite, love? This song is by Todd Galbraith. It's called Lord, You Are Good. Once again, you don't have to be religious, honey. Ooh, a lot of you guys are eye candy. Not that that's important, but you are beautiful. You're a beautiful soul, and you're also beautiful on the outside, just as much as the inside. Chef's kiss. However, beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. Now, your beauty don't have to fade in life, right? But it's just giving you the message to let you know, choose people because of who they are at soul's level. Not because of the history. Not because everybody told you. It's not normal to cut your family off. It's not normal to disconnect from people. Stay in your marriage. What are you doing getting a divorce? That's the devil talking, right? I'm telling you, this is why you're going to have to really stand on 10 toes. I'm telling you. You listening to a bunch of people who are not like you. However, you have other people who are like you. They get you. You get them. Please connect with these people and ditch the other individuals. Because this will teach them what they've lost. This will teach them that they, you know, it's like giving a person an inch and they run a mile. You got to teach people how to treat you. Majesty says, the song is my favorite and brings me to an amazing place. Oh, wow. I don't recall this song at all, but surprisingly, it's on my likes. I don't remember ever hearing it, ever. So that's interesting that you know this song. See, channeled music. Some of you guys are trying to fix people. You're holding on. And the thing is, they reject you every time. That's disappointing. That's sad. You don't deserve that. I'm so sorry. But you should be even sorrier because you're the one that's constantly allowing yourself to connect with people like this. And I don't mean this in a way that's like beating you up. I mean this in a way to help you see more clearly. I'm coming to you with open arms. But I need you to love and respect yourself a lot more than these people who you steady trying to stay around and fix and whatever. Whether you trying to, and it doesn't have to be literally trying to fix someone. Sometimes you don't even realize what you're doing. You could literally be fixing someone. These cards don't come out for no reason. Just like these channel songs don't come up for no reason. I don't know. Just can't stop smiling. And that's a great thing. I feel like you're going to enter a period in time to where you just can't stop smiling. It sounds odd because that's not the life that you're used to. You're used to problems. You're used to arguments. You're used to people doing you dirty. You don't deserve that, love. I know you're used to it. You're so used to it. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, honey. Because God knows that your heart been through a lot. But you're in the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat. You got to make the change. Because I promise you, you can be 80 years old sticking around for people. They're going to continue to show you who they are. Believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. Trust me, there'll be a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Believe them the first time. You don't need chances. You don't need to apologize for your horrible behavior because you have none. You love all people. You accept all people. Why do these people treat you like they treat you? Why do these people do what they do? Let me tell you, because they have demons. They have demons, love. So don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. But don't sit your ass in the fire neither. You deserve better relationships. If you, I was going to say people, but let me say this. If you continue to live your life the way that other people live their life and the way that they're telling you to live your life, you're doing something hella wrong. Hella wrong. Not everybody will understand this path. Shit, your brain don't even understand it. That's why you got to do some deprogramming so that you can reprogram. I come to you now, genuine, loving. You don't got to pay for anything. You don't got to double tap the screen. You don't got to send. You don't got to do nothing. I just want you to experience better in your life. I just want you to experience better in your life. Some of you guys, you got a lot going on the inside. You need to cry. You need to let it out. Don't let me cry now. You know I'm a Capricorn South Node. I don't like that. But it's fine. For the collective, I don't care. Because you deserve it. You're genuine. You're loving. You're kind. You're respectful. Did I say genuine? Did I say loving? Did I say compassionate? Did I say emotionally intelligent? Did I say above and beyond a goddamn star? I'm glad you exist. I am so grateful for you. I don't even know you. Some of you guys, maybe you're not new here. If you're new here, let me know. Hi. If you're not, please let me know. Please let me know. This song is by CK. It's called Emiliana. Hi, CK. Thank you guys for double tapping. I love you guys very much. We don't know each other, but I do love you. I do. You wanna know why? Because my heart chakra is open. Because since a kid, I was able to love. No matter what I went through in life, I was still able to love people. I love strangers. I even love the people who did me goddamn dirty. But we ain't accepting no more bullshit. And I hope that you won't do the same. I really do. I hope you will not do the same. Love yourself, your whole self. That includes your body. Now we know that most men, and sometimes women could even, be subject to this. We judge, and there's these stereotypes, and we go based off of bodies. But I need you to love yourself, your whole self. I don't care how many pounds you are. 90, 70, 200, 250, 280, 3. I need you to love yourself wholeheartedly. Am I saying stay in these energies? Because it's bad for your health. You won't really feel good for real. Can't really do what you want to do. especially if you're a certain, you know. But the message is to love yourself, your whole self. See, the world, they don't accept you. Most of the world, not every person. That don't matter. That's why you have to give this love and everything to yourself. We got untrue stories here. And too soon. With untrue stories, it says you tell yourself bad things. Change your stories and see the good that can happen. With too soon out here, it says you get too serious too soon. Get to know each other before committing fully. And also, as you're getting to know people, please get out of your head. Sometimes you'll probably think, oh my gosh, do they even like me? Oh my gosh, do da da da. Oh my gosh. Please. Please relax. On the back of the deck, we got too hard. You believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally in your life. Wow, look at this couple. This is beautiful. I'm glad that we pulled these cards. This song is by Amaarae, Amaarae. It's called Co-Star. That could be very significant. You guys having your own show, starring with other people maybe. Wow. That's beautiful. Any more messages here for the collective? Had to get that yarn out. Alrighty. Any more messages here for the collective? There's always messages, of course. Hi. You most definitely are next up, honey. See, the thing is, you already up. Ain't no next. You already up, honey. I see you. See yourself. We got age issues coming out. Age issues. So you feel too old or too young to date or have issues with your partner's age. So I could be talking to people who are in relationships and people who are single. You'll have to apply these messages to how they fit. Age ain't nothing but a number. Facts. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge others, okay? Let's change the world by changing ourselves for the better. Because there's no need to change yourself when you're a beautiful human being. But for the things that needs to be changed, like negativity, judgmental energy, etc. Yes. Hi. Welcome in. Alrighty. Yep, that walking away is still there. Now, this song is by Mary J. Blige. It's called Be Happy. See, all you really want is to be happy. You know you can't find it outside of self, right? You know that, right? Some of you guys are coming up as hard to get. Okay. Your standards are pretty high. Your boundaries are set. This could be in a good way. Now let's read what the card says. You are missing opportunities by playing too hard to get. Give someone a chance, okay? Take it how it resonates. I feel like being hard to get is a good thing. Because if somebody really was worthy of your energy, then I feel like you wouldn't be hard to get. But anyways, we got holding on. A lot of you guys are no longer holding on to anything or anyone. However, if you are, you must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with someone new. That can be healing from the past hurt, abuse, etc. Your heart chakra is really important. That's not just used to love other people. It's used to love all things. Seeing the beauty in things, loving self, being motivated and inspired to act on things. Heart chakra is very important, just like your other chakras. Now with the body energy that we were talking about, it says body shame. You feel unattractive to others. Work on accepting yourself, flaws and all. Hi, Andy. You're so welcome. Thank you, love. All right. We have not talking. Told you some of you guys not talking to people because your boundaries are up. But let's see what this card says. It says you aren't communicating your needs clearly. You need to discuss how you feel. Please do. Please do, honey. Your spiritual team supports you. Nothing bad will happen. All right? Now we got unavailable coming out. The train or railroad tracks could be significant. On an individual journey, most definitely. The mountains. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the roses. Now it says you are chasing someone unavailable, or you are the one who is running away. We don't chase, baby. We attract, okay? Do you not know who you are? See, we do this when we tend to forget who the hell we are. I'm gonna need you to get with it, okay? I'm gonna need you. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't. Do I have to do that? Do I have to don't. Come on, collective. Come on. Now, everyone leaves. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay, choose a partner who can commit to you and let yourself commit to them. Okay, don't connect with people who are emotionally unavailable, etc. You're running. Lakota says, I'm running. No. But I mean, hey, your feelings are valid. You know, tend to yourself in those moments. Whenever you're ready, you know. But turn those weaknesses into strengths. All right? Or we'll always have some work to do. All right? Y'all got this. Y'all got this. Life is not as hard as we make it out to be, okay? It's a learning experience. Some of you guys are experiencing confusion. It says you don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved. Okay, that's fair. Get to know yourself. That's all that means. Just get to know yourself. Know what you like, etc. I feel like a lot of you guys, this individual path is important, though. But, I mean, you don't have to go at things alone. You're never alone, right? But I feel like some things to turn weaknesses into strengths, you know. I'm big on growth, personally. I'm big on growth. So, but you don't have to be a perfectionist like me, okay? Just live. All right? Just live. All you really want is to be happy. Being a victim, oh my goodness. It says you feel helpless to change your love life, but you can change whenever you want. You most definitely can, love. Don't feel helpless. I told y'all, some of y'all, you didn't forgot who the hell you are. Oh my goodness. Papa. This song may be a little inappropriate because it has curse words and other stuff, but it's by Kodak. Oh my gosh, I used to love this song so much. I knew the whole lyrics to this song. Let's see if I know it. Where the pole at? Where your clothes at? I ain't talking about my niggas, yeah, but y'all tripping too. Is it true? Damn, my nigga, what the hell got into you? Project Baby, y'all was skipping in the hallway. I was skipping school on my P's and Q's. All them jiggers call me Jigaboo. Bleeding concrete. Bet you this won't come across the street. Pardon me, I don't talk to you, so don't you talk to me. I ain't dissing on nobody, beat. I'm vibing on the beat. Honestly, I'm just trying to be. I just gotta be trying to get over on anything. They telling lies to me. I spent 5 on my pinky ring. She love my diamond ring. Anyway, I'm married to the game. She said her boss to me. I ain't getting on my knees, babe. You bow down to me. You go down for me. You lay down and do the time for me. Sorry, boo. Yeah, I lie to you, but don't you lie to me. It's the co-head, the finesse kid. Boo, hot as me. Told the doctor I'm a healthy kid. I smoke broccoli. I've been running around your whole boy like Monopoly. Oh boy, you's a broke boy. Flackers got you be chocolate. Call me Reese's, can't catch me without the piece. C'est la vie. I'm 10 toes down, you falling off your feet. I would trick your ass for a treat. Call it Halloween. Yeah, that money's what I play for. Call it lottery. Goddamn, you's a clown to me. You can't smoke no black and mild with me. Get in the car with me. You a funny guy. Don't you even joke around with me. How could it be? Get from round to G. You grounded from me. I'm a free van junkie. You a junkie. Getting skin. I'm getting chunky. Getting money. Want some food? Boy, you hungry. I want them honeys. Oh, honey. Okay, I still know the motherfucking song. Okay. That song is by Kodak Black. It's called No Flocking. I still know that song. Look at my little Jonesy. Come on, little baby. You want to see the collective? You want to see the collective? You want to see the collective? I think she still is learning how to look at screens or phones. Mwah. You don't want no kiss? She is so funny, bro. You alright? Oh, you just see me getting it. You just see me. How could it be? Get from round to G, you grind it for me. But yeah, I used to see, bruh. I knew the whole lyrics to that song. That's most definitely her tail. Yes, oh my gosh, she cannot control her tail. Lakota talking about, hey. Yes, thank you. I didn't birth her or anything. I'm kind of used to saying thank you when people compliment my dog, but I know I didn't pop her out or nothing, but yeah, she is cute. All right, we have self-neglect coming out. Now, this is nothing to smile about, okay? It says you are neglecting your own needs in relationships. Practice self-care. All right? We got Chosen One double tapping the screen. So, Chosen One, you experiencing self-neglect. Thank you for double tapping. You are neglecting your own needs in relationships. Practice self-care. All right, what else the collective need to know? The beautiful star collective, you are a star. You are a star, honey. You can't hold yourself back any longer, whether it's negative thinking, being a big fish in a small pond, or whatever the case may be. All right, now we got a few more cards coming out. All right, being needy. Ooh, okay, let's see what this says. It says, make friends and spend time by yourself to take pressure off your relationship. Okay, I want to give my 2 cents on there because I felt a little bit of avoidance when I read that. But I'm going to let you slide. I'm going to let you slide, all right? We got fear of loss. You are afraid of losing someone or being taken abandoned. My apologies. You are afraid of losing someone or of being abandoned. Take a chance. We read this card earlier. We also have Too Hard, and I believe we read this card earlier as well. It says you believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Okay, love is not complicated, hard, etc. People make them that way. I already read that one, so we're not going to finish reading it all the way through. We got Too Risky coming out. You feel like it's not worth the risk, but opening your heart is a risk worth taking. Now, I ain't saying going around here and gambling with your heart now, okay? But when it comes to people who are similar to you, empathetic, emotional intelligence, etc., then okay, now we talking. But if we dealing with people who are closed off, emotionally unavailable, don't even take the risk, honey. But of course, we talking about the complete opposite. Any more messages for the collective? Okay, that comparison energy came out for you guys. They go the anxiety again. My goodness, collective. I fuck with you, though. I fuck with you. All right, this is Ira Star. It's called Rush. All right, we got comparison coming out. Comparing is unfair. Leave the past behind and see your new love for who they are. Sometimes you are showing up as the traumatized version of yourself rather than the authentic version of yourself. So keep that in mind. All right, this card did come out earlier. Don't worry, this video will be uploaded to my YouTube, so you can always feel free to come back to it, replay it, start it over. All right, any last messages from this deck for the collective? I know there's always messages to give, okay? Always messages to give. We have fear, loneliness. Wow, you're never alone, though. This is why self-care is really needed. Self-love is really, 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 really needed. All right, it says you stay in bad relationships because you are lonely. Ooh, collective, are we reading you to the 5th? Okay, it says be okay being with yourself. Be okay being with yourself. See, that's why you be holding on to these connections. Now, let's see what this energy talks about. You must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with someone new. We read this. We did. We most definitely did. Okay, you see how the same cards are coming out. Any last messages here for the collective with this deck in particular? Wow. This song is by Jada Youngin. It's called 23 Island. This is a rap song. Okay. I don't really know what to say about that. We'll let it play. Any more messages for the collective? Thank you. All right, yep. Changing them. Wow. Trying to change someone never works. Accept them as they are or move on. Okay, we're going to move on then. Period. Okay? We're going to move on. Because if you're obviously trying to change somebody, they don't align with you. And you love them so much that you want to keep them in your life. So you're trying to compromise, etc. But you won't really fully compromise because it just doesn't resonate. So you're trying to shift people, trying to change people and all this other stuff. But people have to change on their own. So if they can't get with it, they got to get left, honey bun. This is your life. You choose the people that you love. Just keep that in mind. A lot of times we think about, oh, this is my twin flame. We meant to be. Okay, honey bun. I let people do what they want to do in their own life, but I just hate for collectives as beautiful as you to settle for less. With people who 9 times out of 10, they're just not changing, right? Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You're too beautiful. Too precious. You've learned too many lessons. You don't need to keep bumping your head on the same ones. Let's see what this is talking about. Ooh. Somebody put you in a third party. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This doesn't necessarily have to be bad news. See, when you realize who somebody truly is, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. You just got to look at things in a different way. It just shows that people really didn't love you, you know? Good night. Enjoy the rest of your lifetime, love. Alrighty. Any more messages here for the collective? Yes, there is. We got damage, and it's coming out in the reverse. I feel like you guys, you're coming into a period of time to where you won't be in this energy anymore, because you know what? You're choosing differently. You're acting and showing up differently. Hi, welcome in, High Priestess. Thank you. It says we are both hurting from this. Now, when you read reversals, it can be the shadow energy of something, the more negative, darker side of things, or it can be the complete opposite of its upright position. All right, but we're just going to read these in upright, okay? I actually feel called to not read this one solely in upright, but I'm still going to read it upright. But I'm just letting you know so that you won't have to just read it in upright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, chosen one. All right, it says we are both hurting from this. Once again, don't take things personal. People have their own demons that they're tending to. All right. 1144. Thank you, High Priestess. So you're hurting from a situation. Another person is hurting from a situation. I say we nip it in the bud. We cut them off. We leave them cut off. And you won't ever have to worry about this again. Because, see, relationships aren't hard. People make them that way. Why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why? That's because we all have our own shadows and some people, demons, right? We don't have time for that, though. I don't understand how somebody can fumble a divine masculine or a divine feminine. High Priestess says we allow it. Wow, 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 wow. We got soul contracts. You know, she says we allow it. Beautiful, beautiful. A lot of times we don't purposely put ourselves through things. What is it that you need to work on? Do you need to accept yourself more? So that you don't feel, remember we talked about that energy where we stay in connections because we feel lonely. Like, what is it that y'all need to tend to be out of this energy? Because I know y'all don't purposely just choose to sit in situations. I feel like y'all genuinely be loving people, but sometimes you got to love yourself more. Not sometimes, all the time. Your feelings are valid. God, whomever you believe in, or maybe you don't believe in anything, we wouldn't expect anything less from you. A person with a heart like yours, we wouldn't expect you to try and not want to give up on it. You're not giving up on anyone, but not give up on a person, right? But look at what it's doing to you. You got people who are emotionally unavailable, misunderstands you, etc. However, you give people grace. You understand them perfectly, and it beats you up just as much. Y'all are not the same, but you're experiencing this. It doesn't make sense. You don't got time for that. Respectfully, we're not going to hate this person. Hatred is actually interfering with your heart chakra. That's why they say forgive and forget. Not for other people, but it's just simply for your own sake. Right? So we don't have to hate whoever these people were. Whoever these people were. We just love ourselves more. Don't ever allow yourself to be in this situation again. As Miss High Priestess says, we allow it. We allow it. You choose who you love. Okay? You choose who you love. Don't allow it anymore. All right? We got soul contract here. We have to learn who we are first. Love that. Love that. All right? The lessons I learned from us will never be forgotten. So just know that this person could be hurting from something as you are hurting from the situation as well. But you got to choose you. They understand. Everybody won't understand, but it's a good thing that they do, because some of y'all would have probably stayed in the connection until they got it engraved in their head, right? So I'm glad this person or people showed you a side of themselves, or maybe you've come into a certain realization that people, they'll get it. If they don't get it now, maybe they'll get it later, right? On that journey. You're on that journey? Yeah, a lot of us are on this journey of self-love and individuality and, you know, connecting with people who are more healthy for us. And I feel like you're most definitely on the right path. Sometimes we become guilty or we second guess ourselves. Please don't. As Miss High Priestess's name, you are the High Priestess. Extremely intuitive. Extremely. You don't need to keep on bumping your head to know that something is meant to be and not meant to stay. Okay? The song that was on was by YoungBoy. And I can't remember the name of the song because I was just tuned into the message. But he was like, we conniving. I think it's called Demon Seed. Crazy, right? We conniving. He gonna make his money from them bodies. I meant to say he conniving, not we. What the hell? Not people thinking that y'all alike. See, that's the problem. That's what happens when you connect with people who are just too far gone. And I don't really like saying people are too far gone, but I also don't like giving the collective's hopes up and feeding their own delusions, because that's not going to do anything for the collective but have them go back to people and have them try to fix people and all this stuff that you're being encouraged not to do. I've been there before myself, you know. I just don't want that for the collective. We come into cognitive dissonance. We come into like all of these things when it's just not a good feeling. And sometimes you'll be experiencing something for over a year. I do not want y'all to be experiencing stuff like that. It don't feel good. But do know the lessons that these people learned from you guys' connection, it will never be forgotten. Sometimes you got to teach people by leaving their life, by setting your boundaries. They'll get it. But I did bump my head several times, being too understanding. Yeah, I've learned this thing where being too much into something but also too less is not necessarily the bestest thing. Being more in the middle will be really good. You know, it creates the balance. So, yeah. Right, you're just like me. Like, huh, what? Hi, Pretty P. I learned you can't change people. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that right? We got reveal. And we also have neglected. I feel like a lot of you guys, damage was done in these connections. You've had a soul contract with these people, but that doesn't mean that everything that's meant to be is meant to stay. Right? High Priestess says, it's made me hate the word understanding. Wow. Yeah, see, the things we do, we give ourselves karma, you know? So that's why we always have to be reminded to just heal. Because we really, like you said, you know, put ourselves through things. You didn't really say that, but we basically put ourselves through stuff and we give ourselves our own karma. We wonder why, oh my gosh, I got heartbroken, they cheated. Da-da-da. The red flags be there, you know? And this is not anything to beat you up about anything, because a lot of times when you're first starting off in the world and you're a teenager or whatever the case may be, you know, you're just living, and a lot of times you don't know any better. And a lot of times you don't have anyone around you to be that paragon, right? A lot of times they're just as blind, you know? But then you come into your own awakening. Thank you so much for the follow. Force me to awake. Yeah. See, a lot of karmic connections help you to just really love you. And a lot of times we awaken with different experiences. A lot of times the growth happens when we go through things that are challenging and that doesn't really feel too good. So just give yourself enlightenment about the things that you go through, you know? But just know that it doesn't have to be your life. You don't have to be that person that, yeah, I got another testimony, you know? It don't have to be like that. That's why I want you guys to choose differently this time, because you've already went down the path where you've given people chances, where you tried to fix people, where you tried to stick around, and not only for them, but just because your own shadows that you need to love. You know, you fear abandonment, you fear loneliness, and other bunch of stuff. You know, that's why you have to turn those weaknesses into strengths. It's going to be really important. And I guarantee you're going to come across people who's most definitely gonna teach you how to do those things, not because they're gonna help you, but simply because they're gonna push you into realizing, damn, I gotta do this by myself. You know? Because they didn't beat you up until you can't beat up no more, right? Where you click in your head like, yeah, I got to do something different. Pretty P says, I had a friend cut me off today. Oh, because she can't use me, pretty much. Yeah. See, it's similar to like the tower. A lot of things shake up in our lives. They cause some type of destruction and chaos, and it affects us. But in actuality, those are blessings in disguise. See, a lot of people carry around relationships and friends 20 years even. Crazy. Whole time, false mask. Sometimes we be knowing, sometimes we see the red flags, but our own energy of feeling lonely, etc., you know? So that's why we be pushed into certain energies. I'm not going to say that's why and da-da-da, but I feel like personally, it makes sense, you know? It makes sense to go through these things just so that you can stop neglecting yourself. All right? Speaking of neglection, thank you so much for the gifts as well, love, and the follow. I appreciate that. Neglected is here. You've been neglected by people whom you've loved. I'm so apologetic. So apologetic for that. You guys didn't deserve a lot of things that you've experienced, but look, it's not happening to you, but for you. See, if you would have continued to walk down a path in this energy, it was meant to come into a space to where you had to learn how to love you and set boundaries and everything else, you know? That's why I tell the collective, you have to give yourself enlightenment about what you experience. Don't take it personal. People have demons. A snake is going to be a snake. A rat is going to be a rat. An angel is going to be an angel. Right? Just look at these people as individuals who were once children. Children are very innocent. Thank you. Right? So we were all once innocent and pure and closer to God-like energy, you know, love and all these things. It's no excuse. It's no excuse for people to still treat you how they treat you, though. We've all been through things, right? I'm not comparing traumas and saying, oh, well, we've been through stuff too, so no. These people know that they failed to give you what you need. A lot of these people will understand why you cut them off. See, some of these people show up as narcissists, right? I tell people to help themselves get through things in life, that we don't have to look at everyone as narcissistic or whatever the case may be, but sometimes it's good to look at certain people in a certain way just so you can stand 10 toes down on your decisions, right? Oh, thank you so much. Namaste, love. I appreciate you. We also have reveal. Somebody wants to tell you the truth. Somebody wants to tell you the truth. Similar to like when they go to church and they speak to a priest and they just want to confess everything. You can be what you like. Don't pay them haters no mind. You can be what you like. This is a song by Polo G. Hi, Kira. It's called Finer Things. You're coming into the finer things of life. I feel like you're nipping things in the bud, ending things, closing out cycles, of course, for a lot of you guys. But for others, yeah, you already on this path. Some of you guys, you're clearing things up from your past, you know, connections, situations, lives, and everything. You're getting everything together, okay? But we're all still a part of the same collective. You're in alignment. I don't know where you are in your journey right now, but keep moving forward. Set your boundaries and let go of anyone that is hindering you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, etc. If there's no growth, honey, there's no expansion. You have to connect with people who are on your level and maybe even better. That's nice. We got gossip. I'm afraid of I'm afraid of what other people will think. So a lot of you guys were dealing with people who pay too much attention to the outside energies. They were too focused on things that didn't matter. And this can also be your own energy. Maybe you're afraid of what other people will think. Don't worry about that. That's not important. See, if you listen to people who are already older, especially like in their 80s, etc., because sadly, you know, a lot of times that's when people are getting ready to pass away. I had an aunt, though, that lived to be 102. 103? Beautiful, beautiful, right? Please, please, somebody will tell you as they're already aging and it's already too late for them. They'll let you know the regrets that they had was not doing what they wanted to do in life, was worried too much about what other people would have thought about them. Don't be so scared to cut people off, because guess what? You didn't need any of these people. Just think, did you need any of these people? Set in their ways because they refuse to confess. You didn't need anyone. And the invisible forces that are working with you and never against you were always there. You may call this Jesus. You may call this angels. You may call this God. You may call this ancestors. You may call this fairy. Whatever you go by. But they were always there. A lot of you guys were unappreciated. Yeah. Such beauty. Like a delicate flower. Wow. I believe that you felt like people didn't care. That's because they didn't. Yeah. See, some people, they can only love you as far as they've loved themselves. And a lot of people have not loved themselves at all. Yeah. At least this can help you not really feel so much resentment or sadness, grief, hatred, possibly, right? Maybe you had some people who felt like you didn't care. But of course, they a god doggone lie. Because every part of you shows people that you care. You give the shirt off your back and walk around nude if you had to. Just to make sure somebody wouldn't go cold. Side note, hungry, etc. Would they have done this for you? See, sometimes people still feel like you show up with a false mask because they can't fathom that there's someone that exists as beautiful as you, because they don't exist. It makes sense because when you're such a good person in the world, you can't fathom there being any evil people until you experience it. So it makes sense that people who haven't gotten to feel with all their heart love, that they would think that it doesn't really exist. It makes sense, you know? But those are people who we don't have time to waste on. Time is very precious, even though it's an illusion. But it's very precious, and a lot of people feel it's something that you can't get back. So I feel like in this new era of choosing yourself, loving yourself, you should do just that, and you should stand 10 toes on that. Okay, we got some music that's opposite of rap. It's called New West. I don't have anything against rap, but a lot of times they be a little crazy, you know. They be talking about a little craziness, but this song is called Those Eyes, and for some reason I sing new love. So a lot of you guys, you're gonna come into new love, new friendships, people who will feel like family. At least what family was supposed to be, right? Romantic connections as well. You have beautiful eyes. Show me it was always in me first. Love that. Sadly, they never knew true love. I'm learning that it's shown me love. Yeah. But the thing is, when they came into connection with a goddess or God like you all, their heart knew what love was. Maybe they didn't appreciate it. Maybe they didn't value it. But they realized what it was. They became to know what it was. See, people's perception of you is not your fault. Their misunderstandings. People can only meet you as far as they met themselves. And, you know, it's not your problem, though. You've always made things your problem. Stop taking on the responsibility that's literally not yours. We don't have time to feel guilty. We don't have time to feel bad. Although you may do so. I wouldn't put it past you. I wouldn't put it past you. Even at times I be feeling bad. It's that heart of yours. That's why you gotta set them boundaries. That's why you gotta stop wearing your heart on your sleeve. I feel like that's why you go through certain things. Not to turn you cold or make your heart rock solid, but just so you can learn how to set more boundaries. Because at the end of the day, man, you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect your heart. Some of y'all will go crazy. Some of y'all will possibly take yourselves out of the world, and we do not want that. Some of you guys, maybe you won't. But for the ones we don't want this. See, sometimes you never really know what you would do till it comes down to that point. I respect you guys. Love you guys a lot. And I need you to connect with people who also do the same. A lot of you guys could be very delicate, very sensitive. I feel like you operate in a certain energy today just because people possibly played with you, disrespected you, didn't accept you. That's why y'all possibly show up how you show up and do what you do. But I feel like deep down inside, there's a soft, fluffy little heart, okay? And the people close to you will know. People close to you will see. When people don't really know your heart or know you for real, and they could just go based off of, like, maybe you show up one day angry, or maybe you show up one day not yourself, or whatever. They're going to take that and run with it. But see, the people, I'm telling you, but you don't have to worry about all that. You don't have to worry about people misunderstanding you or misjudging you or any of that. Because the real ones, the ones who get it, the ones who are like you, they'll understand you. And they won't even look at you differently. I'm telling you. Confirmation, once again, you have new love coming in. I know y'all want to talk about the love. For some of y'all, I know some of y'all are just like, oh, hell no. I don't want to hear it. Of course not, when you never really felt love before. Of course, but I promise you, you're going to want to hear this. You're going to want to hear this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, this song is by Light Skin Keisha. It's called Spend Some Cash. See, that's why this energy was inspired by what I said, you know. You see how she's saying, I'll post a thirst trap, bitch, your nigga double tap it. You know, not saying that y'all want to steal her man. No. No. It's not, you know, that's why I'm telling you, people gonna get you. People gonna get you for real. It's gonna be people who misunderstand you, but it's gonna be people who get you for real. Look, missed opportunity. They didn't miss out. They didn't miss out on a real one, and they know that they did, honey. That's why they in a certain energy. See, I feel like the damage was because they caused all of it. The connection didn't have to be this way. People always want to blame the other person, and you was always willing to take accountability. You could take constructive criticism, but the thing is, they had a horrible mentality. They didn't make no goddamn sense. You know? Now they over here want to be in a certain energy. Whole time, y'all wouldn't be in this energy if they would have been more emotionally mature, respectful, etc. So please stop continuing to beat yourself up about things. See, even it was even engraved in my head to not point the finger or apportion blame, when in actuality, I'm just stating the reality of what happened. But now I'm stating the reality of what happened. I'm apportioning blame. How the hell am I supposed to speak about what I've been through, right? People are always telling you, oh, be humble. Oh, that's that's delusional. Or, oh, da-da-da. It's always negative. It's always negative. That's why you're getting pushed into this energy to where you stand 10 toes down regardless of who's on your side, regardless of who understands you, regardless of who rocks with you. It's important to have that relationship with yourself. The only person that you're around 25/8 is you. I don't care if you married. I don't care if you got kids. The only person that you're around 25/8 is you. Now maybe some of y'all are stay-at-home mom, okay? But I'm telling you, it's really important to have that relationship with yourself. It's really important. It's really important. But somebody wants to tell you the truth. They're hurting, honey. Let them hurt. Let them hurt. You was hurting. Did they come and be your shoulder to cry on? Some of them probably was. But not towards situations that they put you in. Maybe towards situations that other people put you in. But not necessarily the ones that they put you in. Because y'all was cutting their ass off. Or dealing with stuff on your own because they didn't know how to tend to you. They messed it up, right? But they don't know how to fix it. See, if you was to ever do something, you would know how to fix it. I don't even feel like y'all ever really hurt somebody or caused trauma in somebody's life. And I feel like if you ever did something, it was possibly because somebody did something to you. I'm not saying, tit for tat, yay, or whatever, but I'm just speaking facts, Okay? She said, these ain't nothing but bad gals. Bad gals. She talking about, and that's just how I do it. And that's just how I do it. And she didn't leave the other bad gals out. She said, and you can do it too, sis. You can do it too, sis. Okay. Okay, get with it or get left. You a girl's girl. You don't even have to just, be limited to women. You're humanitarian. You care about all people. Right? You don't be hating, though. So these people, they didn't act when they should have. When they should have given you a conversation, when they should have spoken up, when they should have been there for you, when they should have acted on something, they didn't. And they most definitely should have. No cap, Supreme says. Now they want to come in and reveal things and communicate and all this other stuff coming off like they've learned. Baby, people don't change overnight, especially people like you. I told you, you got to look at your own energy and you gotta see what's up. Because look, the thing is, did you have to change? Did you have to apologize to somebody for your poor behavior? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. They're the ones that's apologize. They're the ones that they are the ones. You never had to. You didn't. I'm telling you. So you just got to make it make sense. Are you going to connect with people who has to change, or are you going to connect with people who are already in top tier energy? You came in top tier energy, and of course we have our growing and whatever that we need to do. But we don't come in a life as cheaters. We don't come in a life as people who dish out trauma. You dealing with people who are in these energies and they're trying to come back in, apologize and all this other stuff. Next thing you know, they do the same shit again. You don't got time for that. You don't even got time to F around and find out. For what? You've already learned the lessons. You already know people showing up in that energy. Okay, bad. That's my bad. I didn't see the red flag. That's on me. Or maybe I did, and I was just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's just a lesson learned on my behalf. Right? You're irreplaceable. That's the crazy thing. You're irreplaceable. That's how idiotic people are. So why would you even continue to waste your time on people like this who are subject to keep on messing up? They just don't know any better. That's why you have to forgive people for they know not what they do. But you also got to let them the hell go. Because that means they're capable of still putting you through stuff. You ain't nobody's personal experiment. So that until they get better, hell nah. Leave them for people who are in their own energy. You leave the karmic energies with the karmics, honey. You don't got time to be being people's personal healer and guide. That ain't what you came here for, love. I know you be hearing, oh, my purpose is to uplift the world and that. You take care of you first. You can't do anything else until you tend to you. The thing is, we all are able to step into our highest potential without the help of anybody else. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. But you're irreplaceable. The way you love can never be matched. That's just facts. That's just facts. See, I don't mind juicing up the collective, but I'm just speaking facts. You all that in the bag of chips, huh? Or is it you all that in the motherfucking steak with some motherfucking shrimp? People want you to stay, help them grow. They want you to stay and continue to love them. When I tell you, see, I tried to not label people as narcissists, but goddamn, they making it hard. Oh, look at Supreme just said something about narcissists. I heard narcissists don't change. I try to give grace, but they done too much. Trust in yourself, love. Trust in yourself. It's the main thing. A lot of people won't understand your vision. They won't even get it. But that's because people are not you. The superpower that you have is that nobody else is like you. Nobody. I don't care if you got a twin. I don't care if you don't even... I don't care if it's somebody who 80 years old and they've been a part of the ministry or they've been a part of some type of spiritual whatever. Trust in yourself, in your own wisdom, in your own knowledge. You got to remember, this world is filled with a bunch of projected beliefs. Don't nobody have their own goddamn beliefs. It's a bunch of traditional this. It's a bunch of this. That shit don't make no goddamn sense. And people still standing 10 toes down in it. But what they said, everyone is called, but a few are chosen. Hey, look, sometimes only you are able to see that vision because shit, that's your vision. Nobody said that was everybody else's. How can everybody else come into that? Nobody can be who you are and come into what you come into. Trust in yourself wholeheartedly. I don't care if I say something and it sound good. If it don't resonate with you, don't take the shit. Period. Trust in yourself. Okay? Know that you do have invisible forces working with you and never against you, though. Thanksgiving is significant. We got commitment. You're someone that's loyal. You're someone that's literally the whole package. I'm telling you. Let her cook. Okay, let her cook. I want you to be a part of my future. See, people see this beautiful energy that you have. That's why they want you to be a part of their future. That's selfish as hell. Because they coming up as Lil Boo Boo and you coming up as the royalty. And they want to bag you because of who you are and what you can bring. That's selfish. On top of fumbling you. That's crazy. That's crazy. Who the hell was y'all dealing with? A lot of y'all, this family, friends, lovers. Look, broken. This how they leave you. This how they leave you. I'm going to need you to remember, you can forgive and forget and move forward, right? But I need you, whenever you get back into this energy of loneliness, I'm going to need you to nip that in the bud. You got to handle everything that you need to handle right then and there, because it's going to come back up. That's why people tend to go backwards and all this other stuff, because they haven't nipped it in the bud. This how they leave you. Ain't you tired of this? Ain't you tired of this? I'm tired of people checking to see if the grass is green on the other side, then spin the block. They don't deserve you. They know goddamn well the grass was not greener on the other side. They just didn't want to put in the work to meet you where you was at. So they trying to go in somebody else's energy. Don't ever let somebody make you feel like, oh, let me just see if the grass is green. They really just, they know the grass ain't greener. They just want to do the shit. They just want to do it. That's like saying, oh, this person cheated because they just wanted to see if there was somebody better, because maybe they didn't. No, they seen your potential. They seen everything. It wasn't even no goddamn potential. You was showing up the real motherfucking deal. They just wanted to step out. They're weak. Respectfully. But they weak as hell. And I'm getting sick and tired of the collective always putting things on themselves or making it seem like, oh, this person. They meant that. They disrespectful. They're manipulators. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the okie doke. I don't think you want to go off the deep end. I don't think you want to give me a reason. I'm telling you, people, they better stop messing with people who know how to love for real. Because you think people who don't know how to love for real is the crazy ones or the da-da-da-da-da. But when you use that heart chakra and you know how you can actually love, don't be messing with these people who know how to love, honey. You may get knocked upside your head. You may get knocked upside your head. You may get cursed out. They still love you, though. They still love you. I don't think you want to go off the deep end. I don't think you want to give me a reason. They don't want to give you a reason, honey. I'm telling you. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Daydreaming. Their manipulation. Facts be. Sadly, it takes a while to realize the bullshit. Yeah, when you not hip to it, when you don't really know anything, you know, especially in your youth or whatever the case may be, then for sure. But shit, when you experience about enough, you get it. You know what I'm saying? You get it. You just gotta remember the lessons you've learned. Sometimes you may forget because, once again, those weaknesses that needs to be turned into strengths, right? Feeling lonely, all this, Now they daydreaming about what life could have been with you. Daydreaming of the next time y'all talk again. Whole time, you ain't never coming back. Hey, it is what it is. You gotta, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, because we already picked up on this energy before in another collective, that the collective feels guilty. I don't expect anything less from you. I don't expect any. That's normal for you. But be there for yourself this time. You steady caring about other people. Even though they didn't made you depressed, stressed, damn near dead. Why you still alive, Rom? You look dead as hell. That's what, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, look, y'all already know. You already know. Now with this daydream, it says, I am always longing for you. And that if you think about these people, that's probably why, because they pulling on your energy hard as a motherfucker. And then look, Shawn Mendes, what the hell are we dying for? He said, we don't love like we used to. Collective always love. They still love your trifling tail. But they love themselves more this time. See, they didn't know about the self-love and the self-care. They was taught God first, family second. Now they know what's up. God is within you. You can't keep disrespecting yourself like that. See, we didn't know it was disrespect. We didn't know we was putting ourselves last. We didn't know it was self-sabotage or self-sacrificing. Now you know. Some of y'all didn't know until I just said it. That's what the hell it is. That's what it is. I don't care if you see a reading that says this person loves you. They're apologetic. I just posted a video of my private messages with me and AI. We ain't gonna do too much. Don't do too much. I be talking to the AI, okay? I be talking to the AI. But I'm telling you, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. A lot of people, they don't want you to move forward and enjoy their life. See, they like crabs in a bucket. They like crabs in a bucket. Let them get at the top. They gonna try to... I heard shit on you, but I didn't want to say that. But since they at the bottom, they try to leech on you like, oh, let me pocket watch, or let me be in this person energy, looking for a savior, baby. Look, some of these people are reflecting on their dishonesty because they know that the actions that they made is why the connection is here that it is today. But not a lot of people are gonna tell you that they know that that's the reason. I promise you, a lot of people not. It be your own parents. It be your own lovers, right? Sleeping with the enemy. Once again, we're not going to beat ourselves up about anything. We're not going to beat the next person up about anything because it'll be like talking to a goddamn brick wall or arguing with one. People you know, you got to go back to their childhood. A lot of things stem down in childhood, but needed self-love and safer boundaries. I tried to give grace, but needed self-love and right. Yeah, you can give grace, but like you said, you needed self-love and safer boundaries. Because you know, when you do one thing but you lack without the other, a lot of times you're not showing up how it's best for you to show up, right? Having grace without boundaries and self-love could be complete self-abandonment, etc. So you are onto something. Now with this reflection energy, people are reflecting. Especially because you're not in their energy no more, because you pull back in some type of way. So being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. That's the energy that these people are in. That's the energy that these people are in. Now with dishonesty, by lying, I ripped us apart. So a lot of you guys, platonic, romantic, etc. connections are very significant. So these people know they're daydreaming about you. They're always longing for you. They know that they missed out on an opportunity with you. They know that they didn't act when they should have. And the thing is, they abandoned you in these moments. You would have never, because you never, even when you was mad, you still tried to make sure you showed up for them. Even when you was sad, depressed, they put you in that energy. You was still trying to, That's the self-abandonment. Feeling unappreciated. Feeling like these people didn't care. That's because they didn't give not one goddamn. But look, you don't have to look at it like what I had told you, right? Just forgive people for they don't know what they do. But also because they have their own demons. I didn't say shadows like you got, right? Demons. They got an entity attached to their ass. You don't need to be nowhere near around them when they have that, because that's like trying to talk to somebody while they drunk. Specifically a narcissist. You already know narcissist energy alone, how it is. Imagine also being in the energy of intoxicated. Oh my goodness. So these people, they want to tell you some type of truth. They want to reveal something to you, whether that's how they feel or whatever the case may be. That's because they've been doing some reflecting because you haven't been in their energy. You've been away. And being away has allowed you guys, has allowed them. So maybe for some of you guys, being away from these people has allowed you some type of clarity in some type of way. But it has most definitely also allowed them some type of clarity. Crazy. They didn't know all goddamn ready. You had to disappear out their life like the magician for them to realize something. See, that's too much. I'm gonna need somebody to know who you are right then and there, like how you do as well. The beauty within, the beauty that you see in other people, you most definitely have that bestowed. So these people, they couldn't even feel or recognize things within themselves. That's why they didn't see it in you. And you don't got time to keep dealing with people like that. It's literally like taking a step forward and going 3 steps back. You literally called for a heartbreak going down that type of path. That's why I wanted y'all to do better. Thank you so much, love, for the follows and the reposts. I appreciate that. Poof. Houdini. Yeah. But y'all are very much irreplaceable. I know we moving forward, right? I hope y'all moving forward. If you're not, maybe there's another lesson that you need to learn. I'm gentle with you. I ain't finna beat you up about nothing. I don't come on here and tell you not to go back and connect with your ex, or you don't cut your family. I'll let y'all do what y'all do. It's your life. You gonna be the one living. I ain't living your life, so I'll let y'all do whatever you gonna do. But I'm telling you, respect yourself a lot more, love yourself a lot more, and please see clearly, honey. Please see clearly. But you are irreplaceable. The way that you love can never be matched, and these people are now realizing this. They know this. I feel like they've been realized it. But with y'all not being in their energy, they see things a lot more, and they're getting a lot more clear on things. Some of you guys, maybe there's still people who you're needing to get out of your energy, but for some of y'all, you actually did cut a person or a few people off, and they're seeing some things. Some of y'all, you still got some more people that you need to cut off, and it's gonna be the same thing with them. They're gonna know, so don't be feeling guilty. All right? They neglected you. You was always there for people, even when they did you dirty. That's the crazy thing about it. Anything for you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for the follow, love. It says, I failed to give you what you needed. Exactly. Caused unnecessary death because they didn't protect you from their own demons. You know what I'm saying? They were being dishonest. Lying. Like, why would you have to lie to a beautiful soul? How did you fumble a connection with a divine feminine or a divine masculine? I'm still asking. But see, I give myself enlightenment about what I go through. That's why I tell the collective, give yourself enlightenment. Because see, you may be like, what the fuck? How the fuck? It don't make sense. But when you realize a lot of things stem down in childhood, etc., then you'll be like, okay. All right, maybe because you had a narcissistic parent. Maybe because your parents neglected you. Maybe because, right? Okay, cool. All right. But it's still no excuse for how you show up in today's time. It's your responsibility, grown-ass man, grown-ass woman. For sure. I understand. You're the most empathetic person there is. But don't be sitting around here playing with the collective like that. Because I know me, I'm a very understanding person, and if I'm not them, I would literally be like, okay, I am not this person. So maybe them showing up how they showing up, I can't even comment on that. Because I'm not them, and I didn't go through what they went through. But that don't mean I didn't go through nothing at all that could have changed me for the worse. I still chose to be who I am. And I'll be thinking, okay, well, maybe because I didn't feel neglected, maybe that's why. Maybe if I would have felt neglected, then I'll be able to comment on this type of situation. And when I say neglected, I mean full-blown neglected, you know. Not, oh, my mom is not giving me enough attention towards my stepdad. Not like that. That's still important, 100%. But you have some people who probably feel like an orphan or something. I don't mean to say an orphan. My apologies if that may sound a certain way. But y'all have this soul contract. I feel like a lot of people were supposed to show up for you in a more positive and healthy way, and they didn't. You know, they seen what type of person you are, and who you were, and they want this in their life. They never experienced this type of love, this type of commitment, this type of, you know. Now they gotta miss out on you because, hey, they didn't appreciate you when you was there. And the more that you continue to try to give these people a chance, they break you and break you and break you even more. But the thing is, it's crazy because you can never be completely broken. That's how strong you is. God damn. You done went through so much in life. It's so crazy. You still, damn. Hold on, let's have a moment of silence. This collective is a beautiful collective. I wish y'all the best in life. So beautiful. But look, we give ourselves karma. Karma is cause and effect. What comes with cause and effect is consequences. What you do or you don't do will bring you some type of karma. It can either be a good or it can either be not so grand, right? But the lessons are just as grand as blessings. However, don't continue to bump your head on situations that you've already bumped your head on about 50 times already. You don't need to do it 54, 55, 58 more times, okay? Go ahead and let them go and talk to whoever on their level, because you give emotional intelligence, they give emotionally immature. You give emotionally available, they give emotionally unavailable, until they make your ass emotionally unavailable, you know? And we ain't gonna give them all that credit. We are in control of our own feelings, emotions, etc. But I am going to be gentle and kind with the collective and know that they had a reason to step into whatever energy. But just the matter is to just take accountability for our own energy, I guess. But I'm always stand 10 toes for the collective. They care too much about outside appearances and what everybody else thought. See, that's probably why some people was holding back, or who knows. But it says I should have expressed myself better. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, honey. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. See, the collective has such a big heart, and I'm not finna let y'all keep on trying to ease your way back into their life, because you're gonna disappoint them again. You're bound to. Anything you touch, you break. I ain't finna give no message to the collective. It can be a cool one. It could be a nice one. You lucky that I told the collective a part of, forgive people for they know not what they do, etc. You better be lucky for that. But I'll be damned if I tell the collective to double back. For what? Once again, that's like going back to a turd. Digging in the trash and shit. You had never seen a queen or a king, a god or a goddess energy digging in trash. They want to talk to you, though. They want to have a conversation. See, when y'all talk, they be smiling and shit. You know? You know what I'm saying? Whole time on the opposite end, you like drained as hell. Because they getting all that energy, all that bubbly energy, all that excitement. All that shit went to them. Some of y'all probably wrote this person a letter like, hey, I'm moving on. I can't do this. Others of y'all, you said your piece and you dipped. They probably thought, she be back. She be back. Whole time, yo ass, respectfully, never came back. Never coming back. The crazy thing is, they feel like you guys will always come back to each other. It's funny how I was speaking about that and then the reunion energy came out. You so like the... Yeah, I speak of wisdom and experience, and sometimes, the oracles or whatever helps get my message across as well. But thank you for your feedback, love. I appreciate that. High Priestess said, hell no. See, y'all love these people. Y'all tried to see the best in them, but at the same time, it was something... You started getting into this point in time to where you was just like, I can't trust fall no more. I've been trust falling and trust falling and trust falling, and you didn't catch me at all. So it was like that last time that y'all had reconciled, it was something that was off. Maybe it don't even have to be that last time. Maybe it was the last 2, 3, 4 times. To the point where you just became emotionally withdrawn or detached. Now I'm not old enough. Damn. Yeah, I'm 24, yeah. See, this... Look, age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number. I turned 24 in May. I'm a Taurus. Yeah. Now we got Destiny here. It says, I'm struggling to find the right path. They ain't got shit to do with the collective. Going on. Maybe this could be your energy. Maybe you struggle because you know what I'm saying? When you get out of one situation, but don't worry, this won't last forever. This won't last forever. You got to give yourself time. There are stages to things. Just like there's a stage of grief and denial, then acceptance, whatever case may be, right? However it go. There's a stage to healing. Just like there's levels to shit, there's stages to shit. Don't worry. Age is not wisdom. Period. Shit, these people by 80 years old don't got a lick of wisdom. It's crazy because wisdom just really comes from your experiences, some lessons that you've learned and everything. I don't know. So that's why some of y'all was holding back yourselves. Because you like, yeah, I don't know about this. I love you, but, you know, because y'all done got to a point to where you was hurting. And you had to mend your heart on your own. You know? Some of these people felt like you were a better person than they were. Anthony Hamilton, Charlene coming on. He said, come to me, Charlene. Come back to me, Charlene. Come back to me. Stop manifesting the collective. That's why y'all ancestors putting belt to ass. Watcha. Some of y'all could have been dealing with people who were possibly prejudiced, racist. Like I said, it doesn't have to just be romantic connections, whatever, right? But even in your own connections, people was coming off like in a certain way. That's crazy. That's why y'all practicing detachment, or at least you're encouraged to. I'm dealing with Dodo Auntie now. It says, I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. Yeah, see, some of y'all, this was not a safe place. This was not peace. I feel like the divine intervened within these connections. Because they like, God damn it. My goddamn great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter is still in this goddamn connection. My damn goddamn great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson. Let me step the fuck in. They be sending y'all messages. You know, I just feel like sometimes we lose faith or, you know, whatever. Yeah, it can be grandfather, it can be grandma, it can be mom, it can be dad, whatever, you know. Yeah. Just apply the message how it fit for you guys. Wow. Look, responsibilities. Y'all have shit y'all need to take care of. Y'all can keep on playing around with these people. You got shit to do. And heartbreak is not on the list anymore. Y'all learning. Y'all growing. Y'all evolving. Period. Give me a high five. Okay. Period. It says I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. Oh. Get the high. Okay, damn it. Period. Some of these people, they have to tend to their own shit as well. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, you was going to allow their responsibilities to become yours. This person has responsibilities, yes, but can't take initiative. I had to set boundaries. You go, Anna. You go. Doja Cat could be significant. We got inseparable. See, some of y'all really, really love these people, you know. Almost inseparable. But you got to do what's best for you. I understand you so used to being in connections with people. Kira said she blocked him, period. But you got to do what's best for you. You got to, like I said, everybody won't understand this path where you be cutting people off and all like this. That's because they chaotic as hell. They entertain drama. Misery loves company. Shit. Any guy, I could say a bunch of shit, right? But that's not you. That's not you. So some things just don't feel Right. I'm telling you, every time you try to move in a certain direction, I promise you, your soul or something gonna be trying to alert you. You probably get to seeing angel numbers back to back. Can't even be at peace for real, because you like, that's about the 5th time I seen 1010. What that mean? You know what that mean? Okay. Either that can be in a grand way, or it can be in a hey. We about to wrap this up. You know that, huh? Yo, it says our love is always there despite the distance. Yeah, of course. We never doubted the love collective have, but don't you ever try to sit up here and say what you provided was love. Don't you ever do that. Don't do that. Don't be confusing my collective. Don't be getting in their head like that. Collective fuck around and believe you. You love me? No, the hell they don't. No, this is not love, collective. You know this. You the best person to ever to just compare yourself. Okay, I come off like this. They come off like, is this love? I don't do that. I know it's like about 1 billion trillion people in the world, but I don't do that. And I know I love. You love me? They gonna confuse you. Don't listen. You're gonna hear some tarot readings. Stop applying general ass messages from tarot readings to be with you. You hear something like, yeah, they coming back, they miss you, they love you, they think about, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Because a lot of stuff, I'm telling you, is really just, I don't like to be the one to say you being tested, but this most definitely could be in the form of being tested for sure. So y'all done made the mistakes before, where you effed around and found out. I'm lovable. It's love. The nerve, honey. Speaking of mistakes, it's funny that this is here. It says, I wish I could right my wrongs. Child. You're so welcome. You got these people wishing upon a star, honey. I'm telling you, see, if you ever feel this pull on your energy, that's because of them motherfuckers. Sex, magic, love spells, all that. And I promise you, they don't need a candle. A simple, God, please, God. Anything. I'm telling you. They be right here crying. You'll be like, wait, hold on. Who laughed in these people's face, bruh? Or who looked at these people upside the head when they was operating like that? Yo, it's funny. But real as a motherfucker. That's real. That's real, you know? Facts. Some of y'all was dealing with people who was non-committal. 304s. Miami could be significant. See, some people was confusing you, especially when it came to your destiny. You didn't know what to do, how to go, how to be. It was confusing the hell out you. That's why you got to trust in yourself. Regardless of the outside noise, regardless of the logic or the heart chakra trying to boop, 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 boop. You got to balance things out. And a lot of times you got to balance it out with inner wisdom and everything else, you know? Facts. I want to have equal give and take. That's all you wanted. You don't care about the skin complexion. You don't care about none of it. You just want reciprocity. You's a deep individual. You don't care about that shallow surface level. Oh, you got money? Whatever. I mean, that's cool, right? You got some money. But y'all deep. You genuine for real. And half of y'all know that money was created by human beings anyway. Everybody's just in this goddamn rat race. Look, there go that guilt. I told you. Damn, some of y'all still feeling guilty. God damn. You gotta sit with yourself on this one. I can preach till I'm blue, but you gotta, man, you gotta get this energy together. Hi, Miss 888. I feel pain from the damage I have caused. Some of y'all, these people are feeling guilty as well. So you may be feeling guilty for moving forward, loving yourself, but hey, love. But See, acknowledge certain things and then just set it free. Just set it free. Some of y'all do your little cord cuttings. Okay? Shit, it can even be something as simple as a note. You don't have to give it to nobody, of course. People don't deserve to talk to you ever again. Honestly. They know why y'all don't talk no more. What we talking for? So I can make you feel better to live and roam about life? Hell no. I'm over here about to die. Depressed as hell. You gonna feel any karma you need to feel, my boy. Yo. What is song playing? He said, knowing that she lying, we don't go for the hype. Okay, I know why it's on now. They ain't fucking with the collective no more, honey. Look, self-love. I am still trying to, some of y'all are still trying to heal from this situation. And then you got people who victimizing themselves as if they got hurt. What the fuck? I know you lying. That's why y'all not interested. You wasn't satisfied and you're not interested. Y'all weren't happy with the way that things were going. And some of these people try to claim that they weren't happy either, but they could have literally changed it by just changing their own behavior. And they didn't. And they didn't. But these people, they haven't given up on y'all yet. These people is sad, honey. These people is sad. We're going to get into a different deck. This is so sad. Not in a, oh, that's so sad. But in a, that's just sad. If I push one button, you give a night, you give a night, you give a night, give a night, give a night. I just like music, okay? Don't mind the lyrics. Give a night, give a night. All right, what is the message here for the collective? Bro, people be doing you dirty. People's doing you dirty. And then some of these people, they were like mutuals. Like maybe they knew your family. Maybe they knew somebody that you knew. It's crazy, bro. Because, you know, the crazy thing is, what's her name? Holly's sister, Chloe Bailey. She connected with Gunna and Burna Boy. And next thing you know, they got a whole song together. And the song talking about how somebody getting F tonight. Like, what be wrong with men? Look, 5 of Cups. Wow. Grief, sadness, loss, mourning, emotional baggage, resisting change. Somebody who you was in a connection with. Can be platonic, but most definitely a romantic connection is significant. Somebody who was choosing you and you were choosing them, but they had their demons, you know? They had their demons. You can sympathize with people. You can even empathize with people. But the thing is, you're not finna keep on self-abandoning yourself. Being so too understanding to the point to where you just letting things ride and accepting people back in your energy. See, you made sure you held that intuition close. Or at least you're encouraged to hold your intuition close, especially when it comes to connecting with certain people or reconciliation. Because, see, a lot of people, they don't be putting in no effort. They don't be putting in any type of effort. This is the tarot. Scorpio energy could be significant earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and or Virgo. But I feel like this was an unwelcome change that happened in your life. Some of you guys, you could have lost someone by death. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Feeling alone, abandoned. But some of you guys, you're crying over spilled milk. Some of you guys, you've healed a lot more than the energy that you were in before. But for some reason, you're still holding on to some type of negative emotions or something. And this is interfering with how you show up in today's time in more positive emotions. She keeps singing these songs. This song is called Substance by O3 Greedo. Y'all could have been dealing with people who always needed some type of substance or beverage, right? They could not be sober. Anytime you probably was dealing with them, they possibly wasn't sober. Lost my best friend in my... Wow. Just lost the person I thought was for me, but he picks... Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. See, a lot of you guys, you can empathize with one another. This Five of Cups is nothing to play with. This Five of Cups energy is nothing to play with. My condolences to you, love. A lot of times, it's not happening to you, but for you. I'm not saying that, oh, this happened because, you know, da-da-da. No, I'm just saying, like, some things happen that are unfortunate that we may not want to experience. But don't look at it in a way that's like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. It's more stuff. Why me? That, you know, don't ever feed. The more that you feed something, it grows. So give yourself enlightenment for what you go through. A lot of times we don't know what exists. We don't know what's this, what's that. But if it'll help you be more sane, it'll help you get by when you give yourself enlightenment about what you experience. Don't sit in this energy of depression. Don't sit in these energies. And I mean, hey, we don't choose to sit in depression, right? It's not a switch that we just flip on and say, okay, I'm done with depression, right? But basically help yourself get out of these energies, because a lot of times the Five of Cups does talk about us dwelling, right? Still holding on to the negative emotions or things that didn't work out, etc. It helped me grow. Miss Letitia said rejection is protection. My apologies if I pronounced your name wrong, love. You're Pisces? Okay. But I feel like you guys, with the star on the back, little do you know, you're experiencing, like, a wish is going to be granted. I'm seeing wish granted. It could have already been granted, or it will be in the near future. This star energy talks about contentment, spirituality, inspiration, serenity, purpose, renewal, healing, hope, calm, faith. It usually comes after the Tower card. The Tower, we talked about that already, like the destruction, the chaos, the turmoil, the upheaval, right? It don't really feel too good all the time. And then next thing you know, the star pops up, which is the energy of everything restoring itself, getting back into balance. There's a renewal, there's a healing. So I feel like y'all went through the things that caught you by surprise and that shook up your whole entire life. But I feel like y'all are coming into a better energy. It's just up for you to not sit in those negative emotions, because sadness is going to turn into depression if you allow it to, right? Different things are just going to become even more of a darker energy and everything else. But you cannot allow this. That wasn't even meant to happen. You weren't meant to go through these things and just be in this energy to where you're just completely losing yourself. You're a whole different person. You're responding in a negative way now. Like, no, it wasn't meant to be that way. But I feel like y'all getting it. Y'all getting it. I feel like y'all know, some of you guys. This song is by The Weeknd. Call out my name. Release any uneasy emotions, etc. to your angels for healing. support, etc. I do get sad sometimes. We have mutual friends. Yeah, for sure, this Five of Cups energy does talk about, you know, the sadness, the grief energy. Anytime this card comes out, I already know y'all not feeling the best. Y'all not in a happy energy, you know. But with the star being on the back and then the Five of Cups coming out, there is some things to still smile about. You guys are literally healing, you know. Thank you so much, Shay, for the follow. Dwelling is my problem. It's great that you acknowledged it, because when you acknowledge something, it shows that you can see it. Therefore, when you see something, it's clear to you, you can work on it. You can, you know, heal it. It's different when you don't see anything at all and you don't acknowledge things. So good for you, Shay, for realizing that, because now you can do something about it. Whenever you catch yourself in that energy, you can shift it. You can change it. You know, you got to turn those weaknesses into strengths, or it's gonna come back and bite you. A lot of you guys are still young, whether you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, okay? Some of you guys are still going to be living for another 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever years. So it's best to heal and do everything that you need to do right now, right? And by all means, be gentle with yourself. Go at your own pace, but be mindful of stagnancy. Sometimes we'll have to force, right, a little bit ourselves to do things. Get out into nature and everything else. But it's a beautiful thing because nature heals, right? Do things that are good for you. Sitting and crying in your pillow and staying in the house and all this other stuff, that's not really doing anything for you. I mean, unless you living with purpose and intent and you know, you working through your feelings, that's it. But a lot of times we're not doing that. But you got other people who are, you know, maybe you've become disappointed with people. Maybe you have regrets when it comes to people. Or maybe some people are having regrets when it comes to you. But I feel like it's crazy because you guys may be at a low point in time right now. Not at your extreme lowest, like how you possibly were, like, you know, before. But you're still in like a not so grand energy. But it's crazy because in this moment in time, there's things happening in your life or things that you're able to be happy about that you probably can't really feel fully happy about. Because some of you guys, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor at this point in time. Maybe you're independently wealthy at the moment. So, you know, you got to be there for yourself. You know, you got to be your own friend. You got to be your own lover. Take yourself out on dates. Just make sure you tend to you. Self-love and self-care is the best love, all right? This is not a good feeling. You guys are being encouraged to manifest your dreams. You could be in this period of anticipation, thinking about the future, foresight, period. You gotta dance. You gotta dance the stagnancy out. You gotta dance the sadness out. At least you're not avoiding it, right? At least you're not, okay, let me just do this and get my mind off. At least you actually getting that energy out your body. It don't matter how you dance, and I don't care if you hit the worm. Okay, just get it out. But I promise you, this life that you guys are coming into, slowly but surely, you know, I know we trying to get to that destination, but it's really about the journey. You know what I'm saying? It's really about the journey. Since you was 0 years old, all the way up until you know, you get on up out of here. Don't be scared of death now. All right? It got to happen anyway. So, you know, it's all a part of that journey. You going to get to the end regardless, but it's about the journey. So make sure you enjoying life by any means, you know. It's not meant to be a struggle and depression and all this stuff. I told y'all, we give ourselves karma. I told you that. What we do or what we don't do. Don't sit in this energy. See, people came into your energy and they didn't hurt you and everything else. Now you the one that's showing up like a bump on the log. You can't be doing that. Once again, not beating you up. Go your own pace, right? But just remind yourself, Like, sometimes you gotta remind yourself, wake yourself up a little bit. Like, hold the hell up. I've been sitting in this energy for about 3 years. It's time. You know? So coming into better connections, healthier relationships, you don't have to do things alone, but it's important to be able to stand 10 toes down by yourself. Yeah, it is. But it's okay, you know, to be able to make new connections and friends and have a support system. I just wanted you guys to build emotional independence and to, you know, master things within yourself. But whenever you need to talk to people, that's fine. You know, we all have our days, you know. Connect with people, talk to people. People who are healthy, people who are good. Alright? Sometimes you won't realize that until you actually get to know people. So maybe just putting yourself out there. Or just getting through these tough times. It can be solo dolo. You went through the toughest battles by yourself anyway. You ain't new to this, you true to this. But this don't have to be, you know, your life. The sadness and grief and disappointment, that don't have to be your life. You can always change it. But allow yourself to heal. Alright? Some of y'all, you're not going to be in a better energy right then and there. Sometimes it does take time. Sometimes you have good days and the next thing you know, you having bad days. But it's okay. Sometimes that happens. Happens to be 3 years for me. Wow. Yeah. Wow. See, when you actually hear and listen, 3 years is a long time. You know? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 years, you know? That brain, you gotta wake your brain. Your brain went through so much, it just be child existed, just there, pushing your trauma to the back of your mind. Now you got memory loss and everything else. Like, help yourself, you know. Who was the therapist to the first person who needed a therapist? They was their own goddamn therapist. Who was the teacher to the first person who needed a teacher? They was their own goddamn teacher. You know, then later on, people started having, like, you know, they started using their imagination, and they was like, okay, well, God has to exist, and that, because, you know, sometimes humans, they have to label shit. They have to make things make sense, right? Not everything is logical. Not everything is, you know, 1, 2, 3. The impossible most definitely is possible. But just, you know, help yourself, you guys, and know that you're never alone, even on the physical plane. They say blood is thicker than water, and of course, scientifically, it may be. But, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think I would have changed this playlist. Leave me on. "25 years. Oh no, honey. See that ashamed energy? We're gonna have to change that. 25 years here, but I'm healing. Yo, you're gonna have to change that ashamed energy, boo-boo. You saw you said I'm ashamed, but 25 years here, but I'm healing. You gotta pay attention to the good things and not create this energy here. Okay? Don't create that energy. I need you to erase that. Not avoidance, but, you know. My ex and I broke up after our 3-year anniversary. It was meant to be that way, love. They was just nothing but dead weight. Just trying to ease their way through in life. With you on their arm. Your spiritual team can let that continue to happen. Whether you, your own spiritual team, your higher self, couldn't let that happen. Thank you for the follow and the repost. My most toxic relationships that drained me and left with my friend at the end. What? Was 4 years. Wow. Yeah, y'all all done been through some tough stuff. You know, it makes sense. We all in the same collective. A lot of you guys, I wouldn't put it past you. This 5 of Cups, I won't put it. I know y'all. I know that y'all done been through some stuff for real. Some of y'all, you got books to be made. You got stories to be told. You know, that's very sad. A lot of you guys, you know, dealt with so much stuff. We all got our like traumas and these crazy wild things that we didn't deal with. And when you hear other people's story, you just be like, damn. You know? Because you probably be thinking you didn't went through all this stuff. People can really empathize with you. Even if it may not be identical, it still hurt just as much. Pain is pain. Trauma is trauma. Nobody's trauma is more than the other person's trauma is trauma. Y'all are respected, y'all are loved. Connect with people who respect you and who love you. But the most important thing is that you respect and you love yourself. Y'all got this, though. Y'all got this, though. Yeah, my apologies for these scumbags, you know. But we just needed to, you know, bump our heads, right? Because if you showed up how you were like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago, none of these people would have even knew your name. So we all start off inexperienced, naive, gullible, right? You just got to charge it to that. Like, oh, I didn't know any better. Now you do, though. I promise you it'll never happen again. Y'all are attracting new love. And the most important thing is this connection with self. It's a beautiful thing. Been celibate for a while now. That's great. The Knight of Cups is here. You have somebody who want to give y'all an offer. This can also be you showing up as the Knight of Cups. Maybe you're just following your heart, okay? I love that for you because that means your heart chakra is opening up, or it's still open. And that's a beautiful thing, you know, because your heart chakra is really important. You don't just use your heart to love other people, but to love all things. I said this earlier, to see the beauty in things, to love self, right? I feel some of you guys' energy is very heavy. Yeah, extremely heavy. Let's cleanse the energy a bit, you guys. Y'all know I'm sensitive. I can't be on here crying now. I'm sensitive. Oh, it smells like barbecue. I've been working on being vegan, you guys. Save the animals. Even though they gonna still kill them, but I didn't burn my finger. It's 111 on the clock. Bro, it's funny. He said, your daddy was a bitch, you a hoe, son. Oh my gosh, I can't. This is called Drip Harder. Now, if you're not from Houston or know too much about this person, then you probably don't know the song, but he's a popular artist in Houston, okay? So maybe Texas, Houston, whatever could be significant. The South could be significant. He the one who, he said, who dripping harder than me? He the one who came up, I'm too legit to quit it. I'm too legit to quit it. So, yeah, these songs is coming on most definitely is channeled. Y'all are extremely strong, bro. You need other people around you who not haters, who not jealous, who's just as strong as you, because they gonna most definitely let you know. Y'all have other people who looking at y'all upside the head, trying to siphon your energy, be energy vampires, copy your energy, all type of stuff. What are you burning? That is sage, love. That is sage. It's usually used as like some a cleansing tool. clearing negative energy or whatever. You know, people, they can use it for whatever. You know, you set your intentions and it can be for whatever, you know. But traditionally, it's used to cleanse and purge. See, I feel like this collective, you need to step into that energy to where you keep your heart off of your sleeve and you stop being in this hopeless romantic energy, because that ain't really getting you nowhere for real. It's time to love yourself. Hopeless romantic energy is not even really healthy anyway. I ain't saying be a player and like all this other stuff, but nah, like finally be single for, you know, a minute. There's always going to be love offers, of course. Why wouldn't there be? Do you not know who you are? I'm getting tired of telling y'all this. Yeah, some of y'all really don't just know who you are. I'm telling you. And that's dangerous when you don't know who you are. You're so welcome, love. Yeah, some people use Palo Santo, Florida water, sage. People use different stuff. Certain incense, they come in the form of like maybe dragon's blood or, you know, other stuff. Yep, there go that 7 of Cups. See, some of y'all had become in this energy because things were unclear to you. There were illusions going on. There go that confusion energy again. And some of y'all also were in this energy because you lacked some type of focus, right? Maybe there were a lot of different things going on. You have many possibilities, many things that you could choose from. This can also talk about your dreams, though, whether it's your actual dreams, you know, when you sleep, or dreams as in your dreams, goals, aspirations, you know, that type of stuff. But it also can talk about having many, many options and knowing that not everything that glitters is gold. This song in a while. Kill the lights to make me come. Let's see. Yes, honey. 110 is significant. Look, some of y'all got that shiny object syndrome. You got to protect your heart, love. Yes. Yes, Miss Anna, thank you. Vice versa, love. Yeah, Scorpio energy is coming out again. And you know, Scorpio, it can tie to transformation, amongst other things. I have this little card thing here. It has the planets and the zodiacs. Let's see what it says for Scorpio. Transformation and secretive. Wow. That could be your energy, or it could be other people. You could be going through this transformation. See, you may not know. The moon usually talks to going down this path that's actually filled with illusions, but you also, like, things also being hidden to you, right? Maybe you're not, you being also in this, in another space of being, I said the word earlier, not inexperienced, maybe a little naive, gullible. Doesn't have to be. This energy also talks about blocked intuition. So a lot of you guys, your intuition could have been blocked. Things were unclear to you. That's how you were able to be deceived. But see, maybe the anxiety was there to help you. Your dreams was there to help you. But you know, sometimes when you don't learn about intuition, when you don't learn about this, when you don't learn about that, it don't exist. If it doesn't exist, you're blind to it. You weren't aware of things. You weren't awakened to things, you know. And this is how this has happened, you know. That's why I said this is one of those things that we gotta just take with a grain of salt and look at it in a particular way. Like, okay, we didn't know any better. We didn't see this coming, you know, da-da-da. But now y'all know. Some of you guys, however, may still be in this energy of this Seven of Cups confused energy. Remember, everything that glitters is not gold. Hi. Thank you for reposting, double tapping. But I feel like y'all know what a Ten of Cups connection looks like. And for those of you who don't know about tarot and everything else, Ten of Cups usually talks about like happy families and, you know, fulfillment within your relationships and harmonious connections and everything like that. I feel like this song, oh, it's like something said nostalgic that popped up in my head. It just, I was like, yo, this song sounds so familiar. It's called Back Home, featuring Summer Walker. It's by Trey Songz. I let you feel by the trunk. But what was I saying? Oh. What's that dance group? If it is in love, is that the Temptations? I don't know, but they're significant. Why I keep coming back home? If it is in love, he said, if it is in love, why do I feel this way? Why do I keep coming back, etc. All right, I told you. This could be even other people asking these questions. But I for sure know they ain't the ones that's asking if it is in love, unless they just goddamn delusional. Hi. Hi, Coco. Welcome. I hope you're well, love. Do you answer yes and no questions? Sometimes. Right now, I'm just doing a collective, love. But y'all can feel more than welcome to get on the list. If y'all can't afford my prices, I do have donation-based prices. And I also don't just do readings. I do mentorships, life coaching, and everything like that. Yeah, if y'all want to check out my reviews, you're more than welcome. I've been forgetting to ask people to leave reviews on my website, but they are there. I also have YouTube, Instagram, etc. The link is in my bio for all my platforms. Questions are $7.77. $7.77. Look, we got Judgment. That's what I'm saying. See, your overall energy was just not knowing or indecisive, negative self-talk, self-doubt. This could even be other people, right? This is the major overall energy. When you're dealing with major arcanas versus the minor arcanas, these are minor arcanas, right? It talks about cups, pentacles, wands, and what didn't I say already? Oh, swords, okay? For an in-depth, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. Now, Judgment is usually the energies that, of course, doesn't have pentacles, swords, wands, or cups in it, right? So, Judgment. But it's in the reverse. Usually in upright, it talks about forgiveness, awakenings, deciding on something, etc. Now, it's in the reverse. So, it's coming up as the complete opposite, right? Self-doubt, unwilling to learn karmic lessons, etc. That's why you guys keep getting into these certain situations. Everything that glitters isn't gold, but somehow you keep wearing your heart on your sleeve, or maybe you're just feeling like, oh, there's potential, or oh, there's just many possibilities that maybe it'll be this way. But you have to go based off the reality that you've experienced. You can't go based off of, oh, what could be, what da-da-da. You have to go based off what you've already endured and experienced, right? That's basically going based off of truth. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you have to be this negative Nancy and not be optimistic and all this. No, but, you know, you just gotta just don't keep on being in self-delusion or letting yourself down, or, you know, all this other stuff that's going on. Yes, you guys, the payment options are in my link above as well. You just scroll all the way down. I have at least like several different payment options. 5 maybe? I'm not sure. I don't have Zelle. Confirm this judgment in the reverse. 6 of Wands. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all, you just didn't recognize how beautiful, amazing, and powerful you are. Maybe some of you guys always gave yourself the short end of the stick. Maybe you expected to receive the short end of the stick. But see, a lot of times this energy can manifest because of what you've already experienced in life. When you go through things in life, sometimes we feel worried, fearful, etc. So you didn't have this energy when you were a child. That's because none of these things happened to you yet until they did. Now all of a sudden you have insecurities. Now all of a sudden you have doubt. Now all of a sudden you being negative. But know that just because it happened to you before, it doesn't mean it'll happen to you again. A lot of times we put ourselves in situations because we had to. We just didn't know any better. So, of course, a lesson was meant to come about, you know? Some of you guys don't even know if something will be a success, but you've reached many, many milestones. You just gotta stop the negative self-talk. You gotta stop. You have many possibilities. You the one that just keeps setting yourself up for heartbreak. That's crazy when whole time we be our worst critic, and we the ones that be our own enemy. We be thinking it's everybody else who put us through this and put us through that. Whole time it's the one that's put, you know what I'm saying? We be the one in the driver's seat, honey. Hey, Honeybee says no more self-abandonment. Yes, honey. Yes. Any more messages here for the collective? Yep, see, High Priestess energy coming out in the reverse. This is usually encouraging you to trust in your intuition. Some of you guys, you're literally not doing it. Some of you guys, your intuition could be like literally, you know what I'm saying? And you just like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Whole time, that wasn't even your intuition. Your intuition knock you upside the head and everything else. And it's like you completely miss it or something, but it's okay, honey. This just means that you're pretty much disconnected. You need to do some crown chakra healing, okay? Some of you guys are isolating yourself, and yeah, your intuition is suppressed. I don't know if it's because you've been dealing with people who, you know, made you feel like a certain type of way. They didn't believe in all this type of stuff, so they looking at you and projecting on you like you crazy. What the hell you talking about? Hold on. She said I was good on my own. That's the way it was. Damn. On some faded love. But baby, don't get it twisted. Damn. Didn't they tell you that I was a savage? It's crazy because some of y'all be trying to tell people about yourself like, hold on, didn't they tell you I was a savage? Don't play with me. But it's like whole time you still deep down inside still don't really know how powerful you are. So I don't know if y'all ego be getting the best of y'all and y'all just be like, hold on, you don't know who you dealing with. You don't know who you talking to. You don't know me. I'm the real deal, holy. But it's like still somewhere deep down inside, you don't even know you for real. It's the irony though, how you standing up for yourself and you doing all these things because you are that, all that. But I feel like you will show it in a different way when you actually do 100% believe this and know this to be true. I'm not saying you don't know for real, like all the way 100%. Maybe 40, okay? 25? 10? Look. All right. Y'all like will really stand up for yourselves for real, but it's like something you gotta for sure, like inner child healing for sure could be significant. Okay. Miss Sunshine, welcome in. Yeah, strength. I feel like y'all are overcoming a lot of things. Things are coming in. Things are coming together. A relationship with yourself is being birthed. Connections with other people is being birthed. Even in business endeavors or financial situations. You needed me. You needed me, baby. I ain't need you. That's literally what it's giving. Look, 5 of Swords. See, these people, they weren't playing by your rules. Your rules was justice, peace, loyalty. They weren't playing by the rules, babe. They trying to show up with flowers with a knife behind their back. Crazy. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was coming off as hostile. You over here confused. Like, I know I'm not tripping. See, maybe that's what it was. Y'all constantly going through situations, confusing your goddamn self because people showing up in the way that they showing up. Don't let that confuse you. Y'all over here down your own intuition. You know something not right. You know something is this and that. I don't know what it was that was causing this. This song by Zero is called 25 Lighters on My Dresser. Matter of fact, I don't think this song. Y'all, he from Houston. Like, Houston is known for chopped and screw music or, you know, stuff like that. So, oh, this is this song. Okay. Look, the Chariot, though. Damn. See, even with a hindered intuition, indecisiveness, lack of judgment, not seeing things as clear, you still moving forward. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. But y'all was dealing with abusive people who were literally doing you dirty, doing you wrong, playing mind games, and were actually like happy about the results. Like, they'll be the type that will want to see you cry, hurt, etc. As long as it's not them. They like, yeah, I got one up on that bitch. You know, disrespectful, hurtful. Some of y'all probably thinking that it was the complete opposite. No, people be extremely vile. I'm telling you. And it's secrets. It's secrets. Some of y'all could be holding secrets, but... or at least you're encouraged to keep things to yourself. And some of y'all intuitively feel like this is what you should do. Trust your intuition. I'm telling you. You'll see how far you'll get in life when you start trusting your intuition, doing things that your soul is calling you to do, things that you've outgrown. I'm telling you. Stop listening to everybody else and doing what everybody else is doing. If that was the case, you'll be just like everybody else. We all different for a reason. Go your own way. Don't be scared. Look, 2 of Wands. Some of y'all planning. You probably planning, looking on the globe right now. Where do I want to go? Let me see. Where I want to go. All right, there go Maine. There go. Matter of fact, I want to go outside the country. Let me see. Okay. Ooh, England do sound nice. Like, you know, period. Y'all are literally overcoming a lot of things. And I feel like these other things are just temporary. You'll get through them. I feel like you've overcome a lot, and baby, success, that's your middle name. Like, I know some people think, oh, I'll be successful when. No, baby, you're successful right now. It's not about the money, the house, the car. It's about who you are within, honey. Extremely successful. And I'm seeing y'all travel. Some of y'all are going to be moving to another zip code. I'm saying that y'all are focused. And whatever grave that these people have dug for you, they are now laying in, honey. You didn't overcome a lot of things. And I feel like that's because you were determined. You're literally determined. You have a strength of will here. This is a card of forward movement, determined, willpower, success, control, action, travel, and focus. Maybe even being in this energy can help turn this high priestess right side up, as well as the judgment. It's so crazy. That's why your judgment and your decisions are off, because your intuition is off. So you need to do some work on that. Some of y'all, you need to stop dwelling on the things that didn't work out, the relationships that didn't work out. Okay, I'm going to need you to release the pain, the hatred, anything else that you got attached to you, because you ain't getting nowhere in life with that. Be mindful of illusions. Some of y'all are still in this energy of confusion. The crazy thing is your mind and your intuition is hindered. And I feel like that's because of trauma. I honestly feel like that's because of trauma. So don't worry. That means that it's temporary. For others of y'all, that's because other people been preying on your mind, projecting on you and everything else. So you will have to deprogram, to reprogram, and, you know, nurture and heal yourself. It's a choice. What people have done, it was a choice. You got to keep that in mind. Sometimes with our heart, we think in a... I said but we think in its own... Look, I only thought about it because some people are very childish, immature. And child, I just thought, like, look. But anyways... There's an opportunity here. I feel like you guys are encouraged to make a plan so that whatever you're anticipating can come into fruition. Or some of you guys are already operating in this energy. Yes, ma'am, determined. So some of you guys, you're keeping something to yourself. And you're needing to work on your judgment. I'm seeing that you're moving forward. I'm seeing victory against enemies. I'm seeing you overcome obstacles. I'm seeing a lot of you guys being recognized for certain things, or other people seeing your victory in the public eye. I don't know if you're on social media or what, but things are getting better. They're going to get better. It's just our own energy, right, that gets in the way of things. You know, if we're depressed, then of course we're gonna respond in that way. You know? So I feel like it's really important to just focus in on those things. Shady. That's what I'm saying. Backstab. You deal with people who was playing mind games, love bombing you, deceitful as hell. Just pain. Some of y'all dealt with cheating. See, I didn't experience cheating in my life. And it's crazy because I was in high school and I didn't deal with some stuff before, right? I wasn't supposed to have a boyfriend, but I did anyway. And I remember I seen him letting somebody sit on his lap. And then it was this other person who was low-key talking to his ex for a certain amount of time. All of this was when I was in oh no, that was when I became in high school. I was dating him from 9th to 10th grade. The other person, my first boyfriend, I believe, I was in middle school. And I dated him all the way from 5th to 8th grade. The school that I was going to, 5th grade is usually elementary, not middle school. But the school I was going to, they combined 5th grade with 6, 7, and 8. So he was in a lower grade than me, although he was older than me. And yeah, we never broke up with each other. We just like stopped talking or whatever. And I went to high school and he was still like in the 8th grade while I went to the 9th. And then next thing you know, I ended up giving this goofy motherfucker a chance. At first I turned him down, but then all of a sudden, I don't know if the love bombing came in to where my mind just was like, we want to give him a chance. Because I'm telling you, anybody who asked me out, I did not care to date them. I really wasn't fucking with it for real. I was just like, I literally told them no. Next thing you know, I gave them a chance. So the dude that I was in high school with and the, oh yeah, so two high school people. So I couldn't have a boyfriend at the time with the middle school dude. Then I got into high school. I think my mom was letting me have a boyfriend. She was strict though, but she still let me have a boyfriend. Stop talking to him. So it was like these people was doing me like pretty dirty, right? But it didn't affect me like how I got affected in my 11th and 12th grade relationship, which was the person that I ended up marrying when I got out of high school. Right out of high school too. And child, that's when life started officially life. And of course, me as a teen or whatever, I probably feel like life was life, and right, you know, going through what I was going through. And plus, I was going through this stuff with school and academics. The school that I was going to in 9th and 10th grade, they were like fraudulent. They weren't really teaching the kids anything, and they were just getting paid for kids to go to school, but they weren't really doing anything, right? It was like very much fraud, and they had to get shut down because the people was catching on to them. So basically, when I tried to transfer over to 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, it's like there was no sign of me going to the 9th or 10th grade. So that was most definitely stressful. That's what I mean by, of course, aside from everything else, when I felt like officially life started life, and of course it was already still life, and because I was going through that bullshit, because that meant that I wasn't in my correct grade. And you know, going to school, people be bullying and like all this other type of stuff. So they tried to put me in like this remedial class, and that was so embarrassing because I'm like, bro, I literally never flunked a grade in my life. This is so embarrassing. Or whatever the case may be, you know, the high school stuff or whatever. So aside from all of those things, when I had connected with this person, child, although I've experienced the other connections, this officially was like really my first heartbreak for real. And damn, I completely forgot what I was about to say. Damn, completely forgot. But yeah, that was officially like my first heartbreak, I guess, because it stung for some reason. Like I lost weight and everything. And the crazy thing is, my mom ended up passing away in 2020. I was like 19, and she ended up passing away, and life became even more worse. You know, this was really caused me to shift and everything, especially when I didn't have a supportive family. I used to always feel like I had the best family in the world, right? But when I had lost my mom, people didn't show up like how I thought they were going to show up. And later, and even at that time, I tried to look at it in a particular way, right? Giving people grace and everything else. But in actuality, you know, they really weren't shit. You know, family filled with pedophiles and all this other stuff. I think he was a family friend. I don't know if we blood related to him or not. But it was too much stuff going on. My mom didn't even notify me of these things, you know. But for some reason, I ended up finding out, which is crazy. I don't even remember how. I don't know if I heard her mention it or something. But yeah, when my mom had passed, we were like not seeing eye to eye. So when she passed, it was sad because I didn't get to really, I don't know, I was like angry because I feel like I didn't really get to express to her that I loved her or whatever the case may be. And of course, you know, I'm sure she probably knew or whatever. But to me personally, I guess I was beating myself up about it. And she passed in 2020, October the 11th. And I was still married to the person who I was, to the person. And I remember before I used to tell her, because when we had graduated, he ended up going into the military. So I became an army wife. And child, that's when his true colors really started showing. Like, it was crazy. He was already doing stuff previously while we were in high school, and I just never knew. But everything started coming to light once he got into the military, because he tried to be slick. He had a whole backup account that I didn't know about, and he was just posting stupid shit. I remember his weird ass posted like a box of condoms talking about, I'm gonna be using these. We never used condoms, right? He was the first person I had sexual relations with. And it was crazy. Like, I really can't even remember my life, to be honest. It's how much trauma, how traumatizing these things were. I literally can't remember my life at all. It's sad. I can't remember the conversations with my mother, which is the saddest because, you know, she passed away. It's just sad. Like, I remember certain things, but I just don't remember anything really. Like, I don't. And when she passed, I was still like married to him, but before we were talking about things, and you know, we grew up Christian. She was Christian, and she was trying to encourage me to stay in the marriage or whatever. But whenever I kept reporting stuff to her, she finally got into this space to where she was like, see, she, you know. And I like that she did that, because at first she kept coming off like, not saying that she heard me and she disregarded everything I was saying. Like, no, she was there for me and everything, but she was just trying to see the good in the situation, basically. And it was just, she got to this point to where I just kept reporting stuff back to her that she was just like, oh, hell no. This man, you know. But eventually I ended up divorcing the cluck. And low-key, I probably still got some healing that I need to do within that situation on the cool, but it seemed like I was better because I was able to connect with other people. And you know, a lot of times how you show up in your romantic connections has a lot to do with your paternal relationships. You know, so maybe what I seen my mom doing or not doing in her own relationships, what she took, what she didn't take. Usually I would see her giving men chances though, sticking beside them and everything like that. Maybe that's where I picked up on that shit from, low key. And it's crazy because I'm a child. I didn't even really know that I seen that much. I thought I was just a child, didn't really peep nothing for real. But as I got older, I guess I realized that I picked up on things more than I thought that I did. And then the situation with my own father figure, I didn't know about the stuff that she was going through at all until like it was like too late. Like, and then I started realizing their true colors for real, because I thought I had the best family in the world, including father, etc., until I actually realized that it was the complete opposite, you know. So I feel like without having the support of family is where I really came into a complete shift. Because when I lost my mom, it's like a part of me still was able to, you know, just be that version of myself. But I guess when I was going through, I had to divorce him, and then my family wasn't as supportive when it came to my mom passing away, because nobody was, they didn't check on your girl. They didn't do, I was reaching out to people. The hell? You know what I'm saying? And then when I ended up going to the funeral and I seen people weren't really paying us no mind and like all this other stuff, I just felt like people weren't there emotionally or in a supportive way and etc., right? If, like I said, regardless, I understood that people not going to show up for you in a certain way, because not everybody knows how it feels to lose a parent. But at the same time, they just showed up in a way that you could tell that they had to have beef with my mother or something. Because I'm like, bro, y'all full of shit. Like, y'all literally full of shit. So I guess I just got into the space of not feeling the support, not feeling the love. I gave people the benefit of the doubt. Simple. Thousands of times. And it was to the point where I just couldn't no more. And I just was seeing straight through a lot of people's bullshit. And I guess I just ended up just, I don't know. My sister told me about angel numbers. And from there, I found out about astrology. And then from there, I learned about tarot because I seen it on TikTok. I seen people, they used to go live. A lot of people are on TikTok doing readings than when I seen before. It wasn't as many people doing readings on live when I seen before. And I would just watch them. I never had got caught into doing readings until like probably a year after watching people just be on there or whatever. And I just was like so interested in getting my first tarot and oracle deck. But yeah, I feel like that shift happened when I just didn't have the support from family. And then my sister telling me about like angel numbers would help, which kind of helped introduce me into like the whole spirituality thing. But at the time, with me being religious, right, I always thought that you're supposed to learn about things. There's rules to stuff. So I'm thinking that there's a particular way that you're supposed to be when it comes to spirituality. And later on my journey, I realized, right, that spirituality is basically an inner practice. Not everybody have the same beliefs and everything like that. But at that time, I did not know that. So eventually, later in life, I started experiencing cognitive dissonance, or excuse me, whatever the case may be, right? That's why I be trying to, like, I be coming off a certain way with the collective, because I don't want the collective to experience what I experience. You know, that's usually what happens when you go through a certain amount of things. You try to make sure other people don't like experience that, right? You try to make sure you don't dish out trauma or all this other stuff that can hinder people, right? That's basically how I be showing up in today's time. But I feel like that's what really triggered my awakening. And then me and my sister, we was bumping heads for some reason. And she ended up saying that I wasn't a goddess or something. And I had got mad and I said that Jesus shit was fake. I said something. But I didn't even sit with myself on the situation yet to know if I was, you know, not believing in it anymore. It never was a thought that came to mind, you know, that, I'm no longer religious. I never really had the thought. But when we had got, you know, bumped heads or whatever, I ended up saying that. And it's like my brain took it and ran with it, honey. And from there on out, I just was no longer religious at that point. And that caused something to my brain, I guess, or my reality, because my whole life I was basically religious. I got baptized and everything. What else? But yeah, I'm trying to see why I started mentioning any of these things. Sometimes we think we have the best family, like you thought my aunt was the best aunt, but no. Right. How did you teach yourself tarot? And how was it? Because Christianity is against it. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, basically, when I started having, like, I didn't know that I was just no longer a Christian, I guess. You know, with Christianity, I personally thought, for some reason, that tarot was evil, or voodoo, really. I thought it was voodoo. So I guess maybe me being a Christian, or however I learned that on the way. I don't know how the hell I thought that, but for some reason, I thought it was voodoo or something. But I guess when I was listening to other people doing it and everything else, like how I had mentioned before, how I didn't know that I didn't basically come into this energy of, okay, I'm no longer Christian. Like, I was just basically like going with the flow, and something resonated with me. At first it was numerology, and from there I got into astrology, and from there I seen people doing tarot, and from there I just got called to do tarot. So that whole time I'd never made it aware to myself that, okay, we don't believe in Jesus, we don't believe in Christianity, because it never came to mind. I was just chilling, vibing, you know. I never had that discussion or conversation with myself, okay, we're no longer Christian. I just was like, you know, and mind you, my memory to this day is still a bit hindered. So I can't even tell you verbatim, like, you know, I barely remember my life for real. But yeah, like I said, when I really acknowledged that I wasn't Christian anymore, which I never acknowledged, it was just when me and my sister had bumped heads, and I had got mad at her. And I had said that it's fake or whatever. But I never had that conversation with myself. I never even said to myself that it's fake or not true. I just was just vibing, you know. I wasn't thinking nothing about it. I just, you know. But like I said, my brain took it and ran with it. And whatever day that was, that's when officially I stopped, I guess, looked at it like, oh, well, damn, I guess I'm not religious no more. Or whatever. But I've experienced a spiritual awakening and everything, to where I know that spirituality, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or whatever it is true, is real and true. Like I'm telling you, you know. And I just see things in different ways, you know. I feel like a lot of things that I've experienced and etc., that's how I'm able to have the wisdom that I have today. That's why I'm able to show up in a particular way, or whatever the case may be, give advice and, you know, stuff like that. I grew up Christian, but church. Started my spiritual journey. I went through the same thing. I grew up Christian, but church never felt right. Like, it was fake to me from a young age. Like, y'all don't love like God or don't judge like God. Y'all do the opposite. But I began receiving downloads. I thought the Holy Spirit was talking to me, so everyone thought I was crazy. Then the awakening of the whole process of Bible and race. Yeah, I guess we come into our own stuff. You know how we be coming into it. I feel like I lost a best friend because I would always talk to God. Yeah, see, when you detach yourself from religion, you're not detaching yourself from what you think God is. You know, just like the version of you was praying to Jesus or the whatever. It ain't nothing changed. That you still have that same relation. It's just you now see things in a different way. You now see that, okay, well, like, my brain, I can't even talk. My brain just be going through too much. It's going through too much right now. So I can't really speak how I want, but you know, you don't have to see it as you lost your best friend and, you know, everything like that. You could just detach from the man-made things of the world. Now, I'm not saying this is fake, this is that. I just came into what I came into. You know how I came into it. Anybody who religious, I let them be religious. Anybody who's spiritual, I let them be spiritual. You know? I just be doing me. I used to have a little bit of resentment when it came to religion because I started feeling like it was fake and we were lied to and everything like that. So I actually started having resentment and everything. But I started healing that because I realized whether you lied to, misled, misguided, regardless, you're going to come into everything that you need to come into. Like, but yeah, you don't have to look at it like, oh, that's my best friend because, you know, I was once religious and now I'm no longer religious. Like, whatever God you were praying to could still be the God that you're praying to in today's time, you know? Shit, if God is, you know, a thing, I feel like we don't really know what the hell going on for real. We just be having beliefs. Like, beliefs are not facts. Beliefs are not all the time truths, you know? It's just something that we believe in that we don't really know is true, but we believe in it, you know? So I really just be going with the flow. I actually started losing faith on my spiritual journey, though. Started being a little bit disconnected, which is crazy. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. At first, I started believing in, like, all this chosen one stuff, right? Or more like you have a purpose in the world. Like, you're here for a reason and you chose your life. Like, I used to believe in all that. And then I just started, for some reason, I don't know. I think it was because of all the trauma that I was getting put through with my father figure and with a person that I was in a romantic connection with. Next thing you know, I just started getting confused as hell. You know, and I'm still experiencing a lot of things like cognitive dissonance and like all that stuff. But I guess, I don't know. I don't really know what I would call myself in today's time. I like to call myself spiritual, but that's just another belief of somebody else's. You know, even the spiritual people did exactly what the religious people did. You know, talk about people and say that this is not real and like all this other stuff. I'm possibly spiritual. I don't know. It's just like I started losing faith in things. That's because I thought spirituality was one thing, but it wasn't. So I wouldn't say that I lost faith in spirituality itself. I just didn't know what it was to begin with. I thought I knew what it was because I was listening to what everybody else thought it was. So I'm experiencing that point in time to where I'm like just trusting in my knowing from here on out. But shit, you gotta remember, my memory has been horrible since 2020. And we about to be in 2025. So I'm just trying to, you know, just go at whatever pace that I'm going at right now. A lot of things I haven't really confirmed with myself just yet. I'm just allowing myself to just heal and my brain to get it together, because I guess I didn't experience a bit too much trauma and confusion and doing things in a way that I thought, you know, I was meant to do, but I just became confused as hell along the way, child. So yeah, but I guess I still hold on to the wisdom that I have and everything else. I feel like that's what helps get me by for sure. But when you grow up in a world where all you learned first was God itself, and when that gets taken away from you, whether you're religious and you stop being religious or whatever, it's like a piece of you or something seems like it's gone, or not a piece of you, mainly like all you've known, you know? So when you like, well, damn, this isn't real anymore, you just feel like somebody snatched off all your clothes, push you out into the wilderness. Like, you just feel so, oh my gosh, I'm so vulnerable, I'm so naked, like, you know? But nah, even in today's time, the invisible forces that work with me and never against me always come through for real. Even in this time of confusion or whatever the case may be, sometimes I still have my days where I just be like, I don't know, my mind get the best of me in a space, in a time of like confusion or whatever. But then it's like something will happen to where I'll get confirmation that I am in this particular energy, where the people want to call it chosen ones or whatever. I don't know. I don't really. What's for you is for you. Thank you for the follow, Jules. Don't love like God or don't judge like God. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I realized that some of the spiritual people was doing what they say the religious people do. But then I realized that I didn't even know what spirituality was. I was just going based off what everybody else said it was. Because when I was religious, there was rules to things. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it's rules to spirituality too. So I was operating in that space to where I thought, I literally asked this lady, so what do I research? What do I, da-da-da. She was supposed to be helping me, but she completely ghosted my ass. And I started having resentment towards her for that. But I realized as I continued down my own path, where nobody gave me any answers or whatever the case may be, I started coming into my own, you know? And that was the best thing that could happen. Because as long as we've been on this earthly plane, we've always been listening to everybody else's beliefs. You know, like my mom, if she would have never told me that, you know, about religion, I don't know where I would be right now. But she told me about religion. She said that she's religious, therefore I'm religious, and that's all she wrote here. I was looking at her like, why I gotta be religious? I was a kid at the time. She was saying, because I'm religious, so you religious. And as a kid, it still didn't seep in. But eventually, as you get older, and that's all that y'all, you know, you go to church every Sunday, you go on a Bible study on Wednesday, eventually you just start embodying that, you know what I'm saying? Then we praying before we go to sleep, pray before you eat. So it just became a routine, and eventually, I guess it just stuck with me, and then I started becoming that. Because I remember when she first said it, I didn't really attach myself to it. I was still looking at her upside the head like, girl, bye. But I guess the more and more you get programmed into something, you just, you know, start being in that energy. But I don't know. I really just, I guess I'm at a point in time where, I gotta sit with myself and think on some things. I was supposed to be deprogramming to reprogram as it is. My phone is about to die, you guys. I wanted to pull some of these, but we was gonna really... The people who have stolen from you, the people who have did anything to you, they're experiencing some type of imprisonment, whether they're going to be going to jail or whether they're literally free, but they literally are not free, right? Because that thief energy, with imprisonment. It's a whole thing, girl. Yeah. But I feel like you guys are coming into this version of yourself that you were always meant to be. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's a beautiful thing about it. Angel number 24 could be significant. 2-4, February 4th. Okay, you could be 24. Any last messages here for the collective? Because I got to end the live, you guys. Or my phone is just going to be dead. And it's when your phone dies, it don't end the live. It just be sitting there on pause. The cool thing is it'll let you get on another device and it'll resume the live when you try to go live on the other device. It'll ask you, do you want to resume or do you want to just shut this off and create a new one? But yeah, you guys, like I said, trusting your intuition, keep, moving forward. A lot of times we already know a lot of things are man-made. So when you know that things are man-made and you coming into your own, trusting your own knowing and everything like that, when you don't have everybody else's beliefs that are getting projected onto you, I'm pretty fine with that. I think my brain is just learning how to no longer allow other people's beliefs to become mine, so that's new for my brain, right? Let alone growing up in the USA, we don't even think with 30% of our brains, so I'm just really taking things day by day at a time while I'm literally in the fire. You can't heal while you're in the fire, right? So I'm just really getting things into motions for myself so that I can be able to move and, be in a better energy. I prefer to move out the country because I realize that when you have people who are narcissistic or whatever the case may be, even though I try not to call people narcissistic, I try to look at the psychology of it all and like all this stuff. But it's like really exactly what people be saying though, like the narcissist energy, it literally be dead ass. It really be dead on for real. I be trying not to call people that, but they literally show up as that. It's like I have no goddamn choice. And then I realized that when you deal with narcissistic people, it causes you to come into like it causes trauma. But it causes trauma for real, and I didn't really know that. So I'm over here. It's like I was going through huge situation after huge situation after huge situation. Like I said, that person became my first love, I guess, because I guess that's when I started growing up really, and I was able to like be really hurt by things for real. I was hurt by the other people, but I guess it didn't really hit me as hard as the individual that I started dating in my 11th and 12th grade year. And that's the person that I ended up marrying. So that was like my first heartbreak officially. That's what I like. That's what I say. I'm not downplaying the other stuff with the other people, but I'm just saying, because I don't think it was puppy love. I think I was actually like, rocking with people for real and everything like that. But at the same time, this person, when they did me dirty, that really hit me, knocked the wind out of me. I was losing. I had lost a lot of weight. I could not gain weight for nothing. I couldn't gain weight for years. You know what I'm saying? Because right after me going through stuff with this person, my mom ended up passing. And then next thing you know, I ended up getting a divorce from them, and then, yeah, I didn't really get my heart a break ever. So this would officially be the time where I finally just choose me and, everything like that. But what tends to pull me back is the old lifestyle that I was living. You know how you be around family and like all this other stuff. That's what you're used to. So I think I'm breaking out of like certain habits that my mind or body or whatever was used to. And sometimes people try to tell you, oh, you're going down the wrong path, because like I said, I started off religious. So I think I'm learning how to deprogram to reprogram, to not allow other people to project on me and to pick up on other people's beliefs. Like all of these things are getting handled, dealt with. Like I've already started that, right? So I feel like now it's time to finally make those choices to where you like, okay, this is the new version of myself, and I'm gonna have to stay consistent with this. Heal, do this, whatever, right? So I'm getting things into motion slowly but surely, and my goal is really moving. You know, healing the mind, body, and soul, and attracting better relationships, healthy relationships. I had cut every single person off in my life, and I did experience this point in time where I would reconcile with people, because for some reason I'm always giving people countless amounts of chances, reconciling with people and like all of this stuff. And I feel like, you know, once you do stuff a certain amount of time and you get, it's belt to ass, you know what I'm saying, because you keep bumping your head, eventually you just like, yeah, I ain't doing this no more. So officially, I finally let go of this person that it was so hard for me to let go of them. Because like I said, I'm always reconciling with people or giving them chances after chances. So this is where I finally in the energy to where I disconnect from somebody. And it's interesting because like I said, I don't remember majority of my life, right? I'm only 24, but I lost my mom in 2020. So I've been experiencing this for years now. Whew. And dang, what was I about to say? See what I mean? I be forgetting what I'm about to say mid-sentence. It's not a good feeling at all. Because I be really, even when I be like spitting that wisdom and everything, it's really important for me to say what I have to say. But I'm always forgetting what I'm about to say. Like, it's just not a good feeling at all. So I'm just relearning. I guess I'm just coming into the version of myself that I was meant to come into, you know, versus the version of yourself that you come into listening to everybody else around you who feel like this is the way, this is the way. Whole time they not even living by whatever they're saying, and they only create things so that it can help with their own energy. Like some people, they create, oh, don't do this or it's gonna be, you're gonna commit adultery. Whole time they be the ones committing adultery. You know what I'm saying? They don't listen to shit they be trying to get everybody else to listen to. So I'm like, hold the hell up. You know? So I guess I'm just coming to this different version of myself. Knuckle brasses could be significant. Slowly but surely. To really find the higher vibrational point of self. Yeah, I was like in the beginning to forget everything. Yeah, Miss Shay. My brain literally hurt right now. Like, I ain't even doing too much, you know? Look, that shady energy came out. Wow. Wow. Wishing you many, many more years, love. We got Pop the Question in Secret. Somebody want to surprise y'all with an engagement ring. They hoping and praying that y'all connect back with them. They feeling like shit right now. But I don't feel like y'all gonna do it. Some of y'all, maybe you will. But I know for sure I ain't entertaining nobody from my past. Because it's like you already like, it's just the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Eventually you start taking account into your wisdom. Remember how I told y'all some of y'all in this energy of, you know, lacking, your intuition is lacking, or you're confused and like all this stuff. So we all going through like what our stuff or whatever, right? And it's up to us to like make different choices this time around. And I feel like that's where I'm at this point in time. Like, I don't got time to be trying to raise people kids, honey. I don't got time to be experiencing trauma for everybody from other human beings, let alone my own goddamn dad and everybody else. I don't got time for that. You know, I'm realizing the things that I was doing before that I may still need to work on now. Like the whole hopeless romantic, wearing my heart on my sleeve type thing. I've been heartbroken. I would never want to be there again. But baby, you would think that I've learned my lesson, because it just seemed like I'm still wearing my heart on my sleeve, child. I'm like, goddamn. So, yeah, I ain't where I used to be. That's the grandest thing about it. And you know, you just live and you learn. You just growing into whoever you're gonna grow into. Whatever mistakes or bumping your head or whatever needs to happen, it's gonna happen. But baby, I'm tired of bumping my head, and I'm about done with people from my past, honestly, because they don't serve me and they're just low vibrational as hell. You know, I don't got time for that. I honestly don't. It's like, once again, breadcrumbs towards the divine feminine. Look, y'all coming up as the Empress. Simple. A birth of a relationship, a birth of a business. Something is ready to be birthed. This birth of this new version of you, which is happening based on, because it's about time. It's about time. And these things are coming into play for sure. I just feel like it's just stages. Remember I told you, it's stages to things. It's levels to things. You'll get where you need to go. It's just about the journey. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all are very determined. I don't feel like y'all gonna accept any of these breadcrumbs again. You never know. Maybe some of y'all will. I hope you don't. You know? Journal. Yeah, I like journaling because it actually helps me tap in with my subconscious. Like, it's really cool. Like, you know how you used to think that something, you always look at something as like work. When I realized that that's how I'm able to speak on certain things, I'm like, yo, this is literally, don't have to be looked at in the form of work, but something that's necessary, and also something that could be beneficial. Because I'm over here tapping in with the Akashic Records like a motherfucker, and I'm journaling. Or I'm outside in nature. You know, I feel a lot more connected to whatever I thought spirituality was before I started experiencing cognitive dissonance. And I started experiencing that when I was, I guess, when the trauma started getting much worse. Because it's like the trauma was never ending. The trauma literally was never ending. And the fact that I'm still in a particular space where I'm still enduring trauma, that's what I meant by you can't heal in the fire. I'm literally still in the fire. That's why I'm focusing on, you know, some big things and get myself up out of like housing situation, because I deserve better and I want better for myself, you know. And yeah, learning out without having to explain to someone else. Yeah, right. So you'll pop a blood vessel trying to explain to somebody else, honey. They be looking at you like, I'm about to go check on my goldfish. I'm going to go walk my goldfish real quick. All right? Be blessed. You know, so yeah, it is cool when, you know, you connect with people who've been there, done that, similar to you. And that's what I'm on right now. And, you know, like I said, I'm only 24, and I'm sure this version of myself, like I said, I started off religious. So it's just a journey, you know. I'll be somewhere different in 5 years, 1 year, 10 years. And I really can't wait, because I just know me and, you know, other people in the collective are going to experience like the most amazing life there is, because we are awakening to who we're meant to become. You know, we're just waking up and shit, you know. So it's a beautiful thing. And I'm not in a rush to, you know, skim through the healing journey and to jump into this and that, but I am making sure I don't be stagnant, and then I'm actually implementing change, because I'm tired of bumping my head and reconciling with people. Child, I damn near reconciled with somebody not long ago. Hell, that's why I like people who do readings, or like why I be doing readings, because it just help you like get back on track for real and tap into things that are like of mystery. That's literally what divination is for. Kira like, girl, I ain't trying to hear this shit. What is reading it? But nah. It's all love, queen. It's all love. My phone is about to die though. Yeah. Look, Ice Queen, I'm telling you, this is the Queen of Swords in tarot, and the Queen of Swords usually talks about the feminine energy, or the woman that experienced a lot of trials, tribulations, and that's how she's able to be in this energy. You know, some people may look at her as cold or head over heart, But she's really just very discerning. You know, she's been through a lot and she's gained wisdom from the lessons that she's, you know, experienced and the pain that she's endured. So I feel like that's the energy that you guys are showing up in. It's just a beautiful thing. We all in the collective for a reason, you know. We all, y'all follow me for a reason. I follow people for a reason. You know, we all just, it'll make sense in the end, okay? But yeah, you are beauty. You are literally art. You know, and I feel like some of you guys are encouraged to be in your creative energy. Especially, it's time to come into this divine feminine. It's finally time to be in this energy where you're just able to flourish in your soft girl or whatever type of era, you know? You know, getting into union with yourself for real, instead of based off how everybody else wanted you to be and who they wanted you to become. And I'm talking about outside of your family. I'm talking about the world overall. Like, people are so blind, and they it's like millions of people who are also blind. You see who the president is, you know? But we learn how to coexist, and we learn how to alchemize, and we just get shit done. It's crazy, you know? So I feel like nothing but greatness is going to come to the collective. But I feel like we also have to be the ones to go towards the door and open that bitch up. Okay? You know, there's always opportunities. Not everything that glitters is gold. You don't have to accept every opportunity. But do know, sometimes you do have to put in action or certain change to come into the life and energy that you want to experience for yourself. That a lot of times can tie to healing, cutting people off who no longer serves you. You know, your soul and everything just outgrows things, right? So it's time to listen to yourself, listen to your soul, listen to your body. Because a thief is going to be a thief. That's all they know how to do. You can try to train a thief to not steal no more, but that's just their nature. I'm not saying that people don't change, but we ain't finna continue to fuck around and find out. And we also not going to be listening to everybody else saying this and saying that, especially if it don't resonate with us. I'm not saying, oh, if it contradicts my beliefs, I'm not listening. No, not that. It's just, y'all are priestesses, like high priestesses, like that's just what it is. But some of y'all, you need to trust in your intuition a lot more. You're indecisive and you don't need to be, you know, trusting yourself. Beautiful being. Keep moving forward, because I'm seeing success is in your near future and that you're already a success. Just keep on, you know, you got this. Just keep on moving forward. Life is going to unfold how it's going to unfold, you know, but make sure that you're also implementing something as well. Balance out spirituality and practicality. All right, be mindful of the illusion. Some of y'all still a little bit confused, but just be mindful. All right, look, single, sexy, successful. I'm telling y'all, y'all thriving in this single energy. Then twin flame right here. But y'all on y'all rich girl shit, and that could just be your energy. Very wealthy energy. Not everybody can show up as an earth angel. Not everybody. This is brilliant. This is beautiful. This is, look, abundance. They don't have to just be in pentacles. I told y'all, human beings created finances. That shit didn't exist at a certain point in time. I would love to talk more and more, but I gotta end the live. My phone is on 1%. But your ancestors are here, and your spirit team, they're putting things in motion to help you connect with real, genuine connections, romantically, platonically, all of that, so that you no longer attract head over heart individuals. But it's up to you to no longer attract this. A lot of times we choose who we love, right? How is it that you're still attracting narcissists? How is it that you're still attracting this and that? I told you a lot of times we show up how we show up in our romantic connections, or whatever the case may be, is because of how our relationships with our own parents, right? How did they show up in their relationships? How did they make you feel as a you know, like I'm telling you. So a lot of times shadow work, the inner child healing, is very important to do. Shay, I appreciate you, you know, sharing all this information with me in the collective. I hope to see you in the next one. But you guys, I will have to end this live. Next up, I appreciate the likes, appreciate you guys for being here. It was always great to meet new people, and I hope to see you again. All right, I'm gonna have to end the live, y'all. My phone just gonna die. 222 on the clock. Good night, love. Absolutely. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one. If you want to get on the list, make sure you just send me a DM, and I'll make sure I get started on your personal. I appreciate you as well, love. Bye, you guys.